Inappropriate.
Hello.
Steve is inappropriate. Also, hello and welcome to our internet show, which we haven't done in weeks.
1 week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks,
2
but
weeks?
it feels like...
Goodness.
No, it's been longer than 2 weeks. No.
I think it's 2 weeks. I didn't stream last week.
It feels like it's been forever. Since I streamed. My world has changed so much, y'all. Like, in a good way, but like, oh my goodness.
Is everything more yellow for you?
It took me a second. A little bit. Alright. Hello and welcome! Ow. To tonight's stream, we're gonna be playing Root! And I don't know if anybody's here because we haven't streamed consistently enough, but, you know. We're gonna be playing Root tonight. Root. Which is designed by Cole... What is your last name? Cole... Whaler? Whirl?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're both really sorry. But Root is the hot, sexy, new war game, but not war game that everybody's been talking about. And because it's still expansionary, because expansionary never dies in our hearts, we'll be playing the Riverfolk expansion. Woo! So yeah, we're really excited. We're going to be playing 2-player with the Marquise de Cat, which is the like mechanical, or the mechanical Marquise, which is the AI robot thing, but we're going to be playing cooperatively against the mechanical Marquise.
Mechanical Marquise is basically a collection of automaton cats that are an automata game system.
I just realized I hit the recording button. Ah! I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, we're good. So, if you're not familiar with Root, it's designed by Leader Games, or sorry, it's published by Leader Games, designed by Cole Whirl. And it's a game in the base box. It is for 2 to 4 players. That's right. And then the expansion makes it go from 1 to 6. And the reason why I'm like, I don't remember playing on, is because this stream is sponsored by Leader Games. Thank you very much, Leader Games, for sending us not only Root the base game, but Root the expansion. So from the get-go, we have only ever played with expansion content available. Because they recommend if you're playing 2-player, you play with the Marquise, the mechanical Marquise, which comes in the expansion. So that is why.
And you can play just the base game with 2 players.
There's and we've done that.
Combinations.
We have done that. Yeah. But we've played Root. I don't even know. Like, I think I've played Root 5 times.
And I think I've also played it 5.
But it's a direct, competitive, or semi-direct, asynchronous, like, war game. Asymmetrical, sorry. So the fact that I've played it that many times is pretty impressive. Matt Bona, Angela, we missed you. Okay, also, I had a shot of espresso today for the first time, like a fully caffeinated shot of espresso for the first time in like 7 months. And I had that at like 3 o'clock, and it's still going strong. And I am like,
I didn't notice.
Yeah, so I apologize, but also don't, because, like, this is old Tiffany.
Just pretend the stream is going at, like, 1.25x.
Yeah, if you need to slow it down, it's cool. You can't even tell I get up at 4:45 a.m. right now. Like, seriously, I can't even tell.
So what's
anyway, we're playing Root!
What's the premise of Root?
So the premise of Root is that the Marquise de Cat, which is a group of kitty bitties.
The leader of the cat is the Marquise.
Yes, but they're called the Marquise de Cat, like the faction of the Marquise de Cat. And they have conquered the forest, basically. And they're kind of spread out throughout the forest, and they need to establish their hold over the forest to win. But there are other factions who are opposed to this, for various reasons. And they are trying to depose the Marquise de Cat and establish their own rule, essentially, to win. So, there are 7 potential factions. I did my math right.
Or
yes.
6 with 1 that's duplicated.
Yeah, there's 7, like, different characters you can play as. And so the base game comes with 4 characters, which includes the Marquise de Cat, the Vagabond, which is like it's like Robin Hood, basically. Then you have the Eyrie dynasties, which is the old rulers of the land, and they're trying to reestablish their foothold. And they are birds, which I feel is important to point out for some reason. And then you also have the Woodland Alliance, which represents the people who actually live in the forest, not just the people that rule them. So like the bunnies, the foxes, the mice, and they're the rebels. So they're like the rebels who are trying to depose the rulers and establish some sort of democracy, something. I
guess you could say they're sort of like the Rebel Alliance, and the Vagabond is maybe more of the Han Solo type, who could be encouraged to join the Alliance, but is not necessarily a rebel on his own.
Okay, so we're going to be playing the expansion, which from the base game means that we only need the primary deck of cards, and then we're playing with we're only playing with factions from the base game. So we're only playing factions from the expansion. So from the base game, we just need the dice. We need the primary deck of cards. And then we also need the Marquise de Cat figures, which are orange kitties. And then I'm trying to see if we have any other cards that we need from here. And I do believe the answer is no, we do not. So that is it, but you can take out the favor cards. And then you also need the board, which is kind of, well, maybe the most important part. So we're going to put the other faction boards away. We don't even need the Marquise de Cat faction board, because there's one specific for them in the thing. And then there's like a learn to play book, and then there's a like tutorial game set.
The tutorial is amazing.
It's super good.
It walks 2 to 4 players through their first 2 turns, and you can pick any. You can pick 2, 3, or 4 players, and it all works. It's really well designed.
It doesn't work if you're trying to integrate the expansion, but you shouldn't probably do a learning game with the expansion anyway. So then you need the board, and then you also need the items. So there's little cardboard tokens that have items. You need the ones that have no letters on them, in addition to the wells, the like ruined wells. Or
the ruined well. Also, in the co-op game, there's different suggestions in how to play. In the rulebook, the co-op is at its most difficult, and we're going to make it slightly easier by adding a rule from the solitaire game, which is just to take these 3 cards out in favor of the foxes, mice, and rabbits, just so we have a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah. So, from the base game, you're going to take those items that I pointed out. You're going to put the ruins on the little wells that look like ruins. You're going to put them on every spot that has an R. And the board is wavy. Every version of this game that I have seen from the second printing has a very wavy board that won't lie flat, which is a sign that they didn't let it dry enough before they boxed it, or they didn't cut the papers far enough through. I don't remember all the reasons for dish boards, but you can fix it by steaming it slightly. Not a lot. Just like take a shower with the board in the bathroom with you.
For the games you really like.
Yeah, take a shower with your board games. But like just lay the board flat and let it kind of absorb the steam. And then when you're done with your shower, put a heavy thing so that you press the board flat and leave it there for a couple days. And that should flatten the board out.
Which has the downside that you can't play Root for those couple days.
Yeah, which is the primary reason we haven't done it. Because I've been playing it at least once a week since we got it. I feel like if I haven't been traveling, we've played it twice a week.
Let's see.
So you're going to put the items up here, the ruins here. The Marquise de Cat stuff Steve's going to run. But basically all you need from the base game is just the wooden figures. You don't, and the keep token. But you don't need anything else.
Yep, and the score marker.
Oh yeah, and the score marker. Then from the expansion box.
Oh, I need Nutter's Bowls.
No! Steve is playing otters, yes! I've been trying to lay ours flat by overbending the folds, and it just doesn't really work.
Yeah, this So yeah, overbending the folds can work. It usually kind of goes back for me.
Hey, Jack,
I like to call the otters river dogs because they're not quite sea dogs. If they were seals, I would call them sea dogs.
Okay, so in the expansion, you have 4 more faction boards. The orange one is the Mechanical Marquise, which is the Mechanical Cat, and that's who we're going to be playing with. And the Mechanical Cat, we don't super need their board. Their board is just like how the AI runs. So the board doesn't super need to be on camera, but we will put the board...
Yeah, the board has a bunch of important stuff for how to run it.
Yeah, so we need to be able to see the board while we're playing, but the board doesn't need to be visible on camera. So there's that. Then, there's another Vagabond. So you can play 2 Vagabonds in a game if you want.
With 3 new rolls.
Yep. And then there's the 2 new factions. So there's the Lizard Cult, which is my favorite. And then there's the Riverfolk Company, or as Steve calls them, the River Dogs. So Steve is going to be playing the Riverfolk Company, and I will be playing the Lizard Cult this evening. And we will be we will not be competing. We will be working together to try and overthrow the Mechanical Marquise, which is the robot overlord cat thing that has taken over the forest. So, sneak Steve's board. So this is the thing. On the back of every expansion board is how you set up. So before you get all your tokens, read the back. Because I always set up all the tokens, then I'm like, oh crud, what do I have to do? And I'm doing this. So we're going to do that correctly today. So there's that. Then every faction has adorable wooden bits. So Steve gets his teal otters. I get my green lizards. Then all the other tokens in the expansion box we don't need. One set of tokens is for the Vagabond. The other set of tokens is for the solo game.
It's special bonus tokens that they included to maybe use in future expansions.
Oh,
and they're just for fun, so there's probably variants that people have on BGG that use them. Like, my favorite art in the game, sorry this is silly, but it's the Smuggler Bunnies. There is a token with the Smuggler Bunnies on it. And there are no rules for it.
There's also some new cards, which include different rules for the Vagabond, which I haven't talked about. And then there's a card holder, because the Mechanical Marquise, you need to have a queue of cards for them that you can't see, and the card holder just makes it really easy for you to maintain that queue. So we will have that somewhere over there that Steve will manage. And then we have the Law of Root, which is the rulebook. This is actually from the base game, and the base game rulebook has the rules for the expansion factions in it.
It's so amazing.
But we play, because when we're playing, we've just been playing with the expansion. We just have been keeping the rules in the expansion box. And as a matter of fact, I think the only reason we've held on to the expansion box is because the art is amazing. I love the art. And 2, we wanted to make sure we had it on camera to show you all. Because everything from the expansion will fit in the base game box. We played this on Thursday with a couple who were coming to game night, and they brought Root because they wanted to play it, and we brought Root because we wanted to play it. So it was perfect because we played a 4-player game of Root together. And we got our butts handed to us.
And also, Tiffany wanted to make sure she could play just the base game without any expansion content. So wanted to keep the expansion content out of the base game.
I'll let it fall. Can you get it? Okay. So the way that setup works is on the back of every faction board, there is a letter. So it's a setup and then there's a letter. And so you need to set the game up according to the letters. In alphabetical order. So if you're playing with different factions, the setup order is going to be a little different depending on what you're playing with. And I know that the Mechanical Marquise always sets up first.
Yep. The Marquise de Cat always sets up first, and then by extension, the Mechanical Marquise does.
Yes. You just look on the back. Oh, also, I will say, since the second one has been sent to the printer and printed, there has been an update to the rulebook. So the 3rd edition has modified rebalanced player boards because they actually ordered the second print run of the game before the first print run was even out. So because demand was so high.
No. The changes were just there were a lot of people that played the second printing.
No, the first printing.
Well, both first and second.
No, the second printing just landed, and the rule changes for the third printing were out before the second printing even arrived in America. That's how popular this game is.
But it's based on player feedback. So
you can go online on BGG. They have an errata file. You can print out all the board modifications, and they even make recommendations as to sticker paper. But I didn't want to sticker our boards because they are going to be at Gen Con or Origins at some show. They're going to sell packs of like nicely printed things that you can buy to put on your boards to convert the game.
And they also will be in the Kickstarter for the third print.
Yes, and the conversions are very simple on the player boards, and the rule modifications are just very minor rebalancing. So that is the pieces of paper that we have here. So yeah. But the Paris set up the mechanical marquise, please. I did it again. I started setting up my board before.
So one thing, the mechanical marquise, you basically set it up as if it were the normal Marquise de Cat, but there are a couple changes. And one of the changes that I think wasn't explicit in the rules, but is just the Marquise de Cat is going to need the keep, and normally you pick the location of the keep.
Oh, hey.
So I'm just going to roll for it. I imagine you could also
pick... It's just a corner, isn't it?
It's corner of your choice normally for the cat, so I'm going to say 0, 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, Marquise
that works for me, because the lizards start directly opposite of the Marquise de Cat.
Yep.
And we'll lay down our adorable figures so they're more easily seen. Also, somebody said, so with the expansion, you have 7 factions. You can't play 7 people. You can play up to 6 people with the expansion because the, I think it's only balanced for 6 people. I don't know if they would recommend it for 7.
I think you could play it with 7 with everyone. I think the downtime would start to get a little wacky. I don't think there's a mechanical reason that you couldn't.
I would recommend, though, if you're going to play 6 players, or even 5 players, make sure that everyone who is playing knows how to play. And specifically knows how to play their faction that they're playing, because otherwise turns are going to take forever.
So, like, playing the learning game would be a great idea.
For 4 players. And even that can take a while. So it's one where, like, when you're first learning the game, I would recommend you play with 3 players, of max.
And 2 would be great.
2 is fine, but I feel it really shines when you have at least 3 players.
Yeah, it shines at 3. The Marquise and the Irie are a great learning game. Yes. And I think the game recommends that. Okay. So, we chose our factions. We're going to deal cards. The other thing that you do in co-op, or when playing against the Mechanical Marquise, is you replace the Dominance cards, which are an alternate victory condition. You replace them with the Spy cards.
Oh, I didn't pull those out.
I pulled them already.
Okay, cool.
I've been playing with them out. So we are each going to get...
No, I didn't put the Spy cards in, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I put them in.
Just now? Because I saw them in the card packet for the expansion.
Really?
Yes. Just look at the expansion card packet.
Well, I'll be gosh darn.
And Dominance should be in here because I was playing a base game with some people that had never played before.
Oh, no, Dominance. That's okay.
You took Dominance, but Spy is still out too. Okay. So if you're playing with the AI, the Mechanical Marquise, you need to make sure this is shuffled in. But otherwise, setup for the Mechanical's Marquise is you put the keep in a random corner. You put 1 mechanical cat in every clearing except for the one directly opposite. Because that belongs either to the Irie or the Lizard Folk. Basically, if another faction starts there, the cat doesn't start there.
I'm just making sure I do set up correctly for the Mechanical Marquise. Alright.
The rulebook does give recommended factions to play based on the number of players, yes.
Yes.
It does.
They're on the back of the Learn to Play guides. Alright, so I placed... Gather the warriors, place the keep, garrisoned each clearing except the diagonally opposite one, not placing starting buildings, not filling the buildings tracks because those don't apply. Okay, I think the Marquise is set up, and the Marquise is going to get 5 cards, and they're going to be in this card holder from sort of left to right.
Okay. So the lizard folk are going to put 4 of their warriors in the clearing directly opposite of the Marquise de Cat, the keep of the Marquise de Cat. And they're also going to put a garden tile, which is the lizard folk building tile. And in the center, it's hard because it's lime green on lime green. In the center, there's a little tiny symbol. You're going to put the tile that matches the clearing type. Because in Root, every clearing where we can have people is associated with a type of animal. So there's foxes, mice, or bunnies. And as a lizard folk, when I build a building, I need to make sure that the building matches the type of clearing that I am placing in it. So after I put my garden and my 4 lizard folk army, I put 1 lizard folk in every adjacent clearing that is connected to the one that I started in. Then I flip my board over and I fill it up. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here because it's more on camera. I feel like we can bump that down. So I'm going to put my outcast token. I get to pick where it goes. I'm going to wait to do that. And then I'm going to fill in, I'm going to like bingo my own board. So my gardens go on my player board on this part, and I just realized the errata sheet needs to be down. Because otherwise I'll forget. So I will put my bunnies on the bunny spots. And all the mice on the mice spots. So my board is full. And when I build these gardens, I will take off from the leftmost space. Because the more I build, the more points I get when I score gardens. So once I have filled the board, I'll have a spot left open from the one that I used for my starting clearing, which in this case was bunnies. So there you go. So I'm set up, you.
All right, and then lastly, we do the Riverfolk Company, who are set up G. So I got my warriors.
Not
put the entire deck cards in.
Yeah. Here, you can run the cat.
So I'm going to say what my services costs are, and we will explain that shortly. Then I will place my trade post markers on my board.
Cool. So he bingos his board for his trade posts, which are his type of building. Oh, Zizi wants something.
What do you think she wants?
Probably
something that starts with validity.
Yep. Then you're gonna deal the 5 cards to the Marquise de Cat, or the Mechanical Marquise.
Let's see. No, I also 3 warriors in my payment spots. And then I do my stuff.
Do you start on the board anywhere?
Yes. I get to place 4 of these warriors on any clearings along the river.
Well, given our current situation, I would either do this one or this one, because this one is the least connected to the keep. Or these 2 are, rather.
Well, and we probably want them in lower priority. So the Marquise de Cat has a clearing priority where they will attempt to move into. So I am totally fine with placing them there. In fact, I might put all 4 here and then move 2 there.
On your first turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So, and then set up the queue for the Marquise, for the Mechanical Marquise. And then every player gets 3 cards. And then we start. But, before we start, Steve will knock all of his cards on the floor.
You should explain our victory condition.
Yes. Okay. So, and you can feed the dogs? Do we still determine randomly who starts?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically, you randomly determine seating order, which is also the turn order.
But starting with who?
You randomly determine first player, next player, next player.
I start! Yes!
Okay, then who goes second?
marquees.
Okay. Technically, you do seating order for everybody, but you don't have to do that. House rule.
I think it just makes sense to go clockwise.
Yep.
Okay. Go view the puppers. Okay. So, while Steve feeds puppers, I will explain how we're going to play this game.
As a bonus, you can explain the spy cards.
Maybe
not.
Or you can. I'm going to give a rough overview, because this game's, if I just did a full teach, would take too long, and there's already lots of great playthroughs and conversations about that.
I think these dogs are going to give a rough overview if I don't feed them.
Yeah. Oh, she's licking lips. Okay. So, in this game, the mechanical marquise has taken over the forest, and we are attempting to regain control of that. We are working together. We are playing the cooperative version, and we are working together to try and defeat the mechanical marquise and reassert power over the forest for ourselves. And so we win if we both can get 30 victory points. Woohoo!
Before the mechanical marquise does.
However, we lose if the mechanical marquise gets 30 victory points before we both get 30. So even if Steve has 30 victory points, if I'm at 27 and the marquise gets 30, we lose. So we both have to get 30 points before the marquise does. And that's how we win. We have never won. So this will be interesting. But the way the game will play is we will take turns. I'm going to be the starting player because we randomly determine that. And each player plays completely differently. This is an asymmetrical game, meaning that every player has different things that they can do and different ways they operate. So I'll start with mine. So the lizard cult is, I don't even know how you would describe it. Basically, how would you describe the lizard cult? Basically, I'm using hand management skills to, use the cards in my hand to spread my lizardmen throughout the clearings and forests. However, when I play a card from my hand, I'm not actually playing it, I'm just revealing it. So I need to use hand management to make sure I always have cards in my hand that I need in regards to the clearings I want to move into. Because I'm a cult, I also can spend officers, or acolytes, not officers, I can spend acolytes to convert other factions to be me. So in this game, one of the things that I will be doing or trying to do is I will be trying to convert all these little mechanical marquees into lizard folk, which will help me try to assert dominance over individual clearings. Because in this game, the mechanical marquees, one of the primary ways that they're going to earn points is if they have a certain number of cats in a clearing or if they rule clearings. So I will be attempting, and rule means that they have a clear dominance. I will be attempting to overcome that because if I manage to build my gardens, my buildings, in a clearing, it doesn't matter how many of my lizard folk are there, I rule it. So if I have a single garden and a single lizard folk and there's like 10 cats, it doesn't matter, I still rule it. So, and then once I rule it, I can do a lot of shifty stuff, including converting cats to be lizardmen and like all this other stuff. So, I'm going to be trying to maintain the cards in my hand that will let me convert things or move lizard around to spread them. But I actually kind of depend on other factions moving on their own and then me just kind of like taking them over. It's very creepy. I like it a lot. I gain points by discarding cards from my hand that match clearings that have gardens in them. And the more gardens of a certain type I've made, the more points I will get. And so that's kind of the main way I get points, in addition to removing opponents' buildings. But in this case, nobody's going to have any buildings for me to remove. So I will be mostly getting points by taking over people, turning them into lizards, putting down gardens, and then discarding cards that match those gardens to get points. In addition, in this game, you can craft items to gain points. And crafting items is different for every player, but for me, it means that I need to have my gardens in specific clearings to craft certain items. And those items will get me points. So that is my goal. the Riverfolk company is establishing. They're a trading company, so Steve will play with an open hand, and I can purchase cards from his hand by using my lizard people. And when I use my lizard people to purchase his cards, they will go into his funds, and then he can use my lizard people to pay to put down more buildings, to move his people around, to do a lot of stuff, which basically his engine is funded by me buying cards from him.
Or mercenary services.
Yeah, which is
or
me buying
travel.
people from you.
Yeah.
Basically, I need to buy services from Steve so Steve can do more things.
Yeah. What's really interesting, it is a faction around trading that actually involves trading with other people or other players, which is really neat for in a game there to be actual trade.
Yes.
Which is, for example, the last game we played, I wanted a player to buy from me, but I didn't realize I needed to make my services more attractive, which is they would only buy mercenaries from me if I had my mercenaries in the right spot for them to buy them.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, I need to actually negotiate if I want people to just pay me.
So the services that Steve can offer is I can purchase cards from Steve's hand, which is super helpful for me because if you remember correctly, I use cards that are in my hand to activate and do stuff. And I don't actually discard those cards. So if I can buy cards from Steve that I need, I don't have to worry about luck of the draw, which is awesome. So that's kind of one of our primary ideas going into this co-op game. The other service that Steve can do is he offers riverboat services. So normally if you want to travel around the clearing, you can only move along these white paths. However, I can pay for riverboat services from Steve's characters to move along the rivers instead.
Yeah, for the whole turn.
For the whole turn, which is pretty awesome. My faction doesn't move a lot physically, but still could come into play. Then the third service that Steve can offer is mercenaries. So if Steve has otters, his faction, in a location, I can pay him to use those otters in a combat or battle situation as if they were my own. Which, not super helpful for me because I can just turn his otters into lizard folk.
And they also count for rule.
Yes.
So during your daylight and evening phases, so you could, for example, if you need to rule a thing, you could pay for mercenaries at the start of your turn, and then you would rule them.
Yeah. So that is kind of what Steve can offer. Steve is also putting down trading posts, and the trading posts allow him to... I forget what trading posts allow you to do.
So trading posts give me dividends, which is basically victory points, for every fund that I haven't spent. I'll explain funds in a second. So basically, if I don't spend the warriors that people have paid me, I get points for...
so I want to make sure Steve is rich enough to buy the things he needs to buy, but also rich enough to have change left over to get points.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
And then also, for every...
But not so rich that I'm out of people.
For every trade post that I have, anybody can buy one more service from me every turn if they have pieces in the same location as my trade post. So basically, Tiffany can only buy one card a turn until I get trade posts in the locations that she is, and then she can buy 2 cards a turn, 3 cards a turn. More.
Hey, David. Also, hello, John. Okay, so that is what Steve's doing. I'm not going into the specifics of
we'll
turns.
do it when we play.
So, now, the Mechanical Marquise, who we are playing against. Mechanical Marquise is a jerk. So the Mechanical Marquise is going to score... at the beginning of their turn, they're going to score points. They're going to score 2 points per every clearing they rule with at least 3 characters. So we want to make sure that they don't get clearings. Because if they rule clearings, it's going to get bad fast.
Yeah.
And right now, they rule all the clearings that they're in by themselves, but they need to get more people into those clearings to actually score points. So they're going to be doing that. And then the Marquise basically will reveal a card from the queue, and that card will have a clearing on it. So either a fox clearing, a mouse clearing, or a bunny clearing. And that clearing will tell you, that card will tell us which clearings have battles. And so basically, if a mouse clearing was drawn, every clearing that had a cat in it plus a different type of faction, the cat would battle that faction. Mm-hmm. And then battling will explain that's basically you remove things from the board. For me, that's bad. We don't want battling happening because if they take out my gardens, they'll score points, which is not great. We don't want them to score points. Then they will move. If they have more than 3 warriors in a clearing, they will move their warriors around to try and get to specific areas of the board based on the clearing priority chart. Then they will recruit. So they will, based on the card that was revealed, they will look to see if there's a crafting thing on it, which we'll talk about when we get there. And they will recruit in clearings based on the crafting icons.
And the crafting icons are often different from the battle move type of the card. So they will do things in different types of clearings every turn.
Yep. Then we'll just replenish the queue for the marquees, and then that'll be their turn. There's some gotchas in the AI program, but it's really straightforward. And Steve's going to run that. And otherwise, I think...
There are 2 changes if you're playing in cooperative mode versus competitive mode. So in competitive mode, say we want to play a 3-player game with only 2 players, we can have the mechanical marquees play with these rules that we explained, and it's sort of a 3rd player for us to bounce off against, which is cool because the game is the best with 3 players. So it gives us something to battle against. In cooperative mode, so in that competitive mode, whoever gets to 30 points wins.
Period.
Yeah. In cooperative mode, which we're playing, there's the rule change Tiffany explained, which is we all need to get to 30 points or more before the mechanical marquise does.
Mm-hmm.
The other change is when they recruit in basically any of the crafting things that comes up. In the normal competitive game, they only recruit there if they rule. So you can slowly force them out of the forest, which is pretty cool. They're kind of like a neutral faction. But in cooperative mode, they can pop up anywhere.
They're jerks.
The robot cats are bursting out of the ground.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's awful.
Yes.
Oh, that's awful. Okay.
And then you can, in solo mode, there's a couple minor changes.
Which we don't need to go into.
So no, it's the only change in solo mode is just we're taking those 3 cards out that I took out to make the game slightly easier.
Okay.
And then in cooperative mode, the mechanical marquise is going to score 1 point for every human player every turn. So every turn, they're going to get 2 points. So we have a maximum of 15 turns.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay, so on the dilemma note, we're going to go ahead and start, and I get to determine what my outcast cast is, which doesn't have a super big effect.
I should also mention, when other players pay me for services, I set the price from 1 to 4 per service.
At the start of your turn.
At the start of my turn. Or end of my turn, actually.
Okay, so they all are 4 for this first turn?
Yeah. Okay. And other players pay out of their reserves of their warriors, and they don't get them back until I give them back. So they can afford to spend a lot, but once they run out of warriors, it could be bad.
Okay, so I'm going to select that Outcast starts as foxes. And so the Outcast faction has to do with, basically I'm a cult, and cults thrive on preying on hated communities. And so basically...
You're into the occult?
No. The woodland creature community that is most hated at this moment is more likely to fall prey to my culty ways. So I'm going to say that fox clearings are more... subjective? Not subjective. Something. Also, Mad Bonus is happy birthday too.
Oh, thank you, Mad Bonus. You just find that each clearing is like the type of animal that lives there. So that's why there's...
Yes, I did that.
Okay. And those are also the card suits.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, mechanical zombie cats clawing their way out of the ground is definitely what my D&D kids sort of experience. But they're animated suits of armor.
I think Jaime also pointed out that on BGG people have made bazillions of different bots. And bots for all the factions and everything. So if you want to play with bots, there's
lots of support for this game. Yeah. Okay, so I started by adjusting the outcast. Then I will discard Lost Souls. Basically, if anybody discards a card or a card gets discarded for any reason while the lizard folk is in play, the lizard cult, they come to me and they become my Lost Souls. But I don't have any right now, so it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So now I will perform conspiracies, which I can't. I'm a cult, yo. I can't perform conspiracies. This will come...
Tell me more about your new job.
This will come more into play later. But then now I do my daylight. So that... Now I get to do the actual turn. So, first thing I get to do is I get to... If I want, I can buy stuff from Steve, which is always nice. I like
Technically, that's at the start. That's during your bird song.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it during my bird
At
song?
the start of your bird song.
So I can do it before I do conspiracies.
Yes, so you need to have already done that. That's something.
Okay, well, my bird song didn't really exist, so I'm going to do it now.
Right.
So
and since I have no trade posts, you can only buy one service.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a lot of money to get this fox
card. To my
card.
payments box.
So I spent 4 people, because his prices are at 4, to buy this card that he had available, which I like very much. Thank you.
And when it gets to my turn, I'll explain how the spy card works. But...
Okay, so now I can do my daylight, which is my main actions. So I can do as many actions as I want, but my options are basically build, recruit, score, sacrifice. And they all depend on the cards that I play. So very first, oh yes. Can you?
Okay. No, so scoring, you discard the cards. The other ones, you just play them. Right?
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal a bird card, which will allow me to sacrifice one of my men. So I now have an acolyte. And any cards that I play get discarded in Lost Souls. Or, sorry, no.
No.
They just get played. If I score them, they get discarded. Then I'm going to go ahead and play a fox card to put down a lizard man here. So when I reveal a card of a suit, I can just put a lizard man in a clearing of that type, which is amazing. And then I'm going to be like, bunnies are delicious. So I'm going to reveal 2 bunnies to put a bunch of bunnies. And the reason why I'm dividing this is because unless you have a clear majority, you don't rule a clearing. So I have made it where these 2 are no longer ruled by kitties. Yeah. So I'm out of cards, so I can't do anything else. So I will return all of the cards that are revealed to my hand. Yes. And now I can craft. So now these cards are back to me, and I can craft them if I want, but I need to have gardens in the clearing I want to craft. And there's nothing I can afford. So I will not teach that at this moment, and I am done. Now I draw a card. So I draw from the top of the deck. Everybody draws 1 card, and then plus based on symbols revealed on your mat. I don't have any of those, so I drew a card. And then I have to discard down to my hand limit, which is 5, which I'm at 5, so I'm good. And that is my turn. And now it's the kitty's turn.
And that's another reason why people might want to buy from me is cards to both either craft or cards to use.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Mechanical Marquise. The Mechanical Marquise...
we did not purchase this. This was sent to us. This is a sponsored game. So... thank you, Leader Games, for sending this to us for expansion.
So, there's this sort of card queue that the Mechanical Marquise has. And the Mechanical Marquise is supposed to start with...
a sword. And a boot.
Items.
Oh, okay.
Which...
I mean, you were in charge of that.
Yup.
But sponsored games were always... we were allowed to be sent that. No, the resolution was we weren't going to buy games. If publishers give them to us, for
so
content,
another rule change about the Mechanical Marquise, we can't steal cards or give cards or whatever to the Mechanical Marquise. It's always going to be, if you have to draw from them, you draw from the deck. If you give them the card, you discard it and they score a point.
So we can never mess with their queue.
No. Okay, so first I am going to score, they would score 2 per clearing. They have with at least 3 warriors. They don't have any. But they are going to get 2 points per human player. Another thing about the Mechanical Marquise is the rules for their keep still apply. Which is nobody can place any pieces in the clearing with their keep, which is important. We can move into there, but we can't place there. So that applies for the regular Marquise and the Mechanical. So I'm going to reveal the next order card. It is this gently used knapsack crafting card of the fox suit with a mouse crafting cost.
So we care about the fox part.
So we care about the fox.
Yeah.
So we're going to battle in clearings matching this order card. So
me pro. Strike me down, and I will become
there is a priority for clearings which do moves, but I usually do the battles in this order too, just because it's easier. So no battle. And it doesn't technically matter. You can do the battles in whatever order. No battle. Battle.
Strike me
So explain battles.
Okay, so battles, you're going to roll... Whoever is the attacker normally rolls both of these dice. These dice are D4s, but with like a distribution on a D12. And the attacker is going to roll both dice, and the attacker gets the higher value rolled, and the defender gets the lower value rolled. Can you let her out?
She's trying to tell us a rule.
In this case, the mechanical marquise is the attacker, so if I was to roll, they would get the higher value. Then,
She really wants to go out in the backyard.
I mean, sure. When those numbers are rolled, those numbers equal the number of hits that you get to do to the opposing side. So if the Marquise de Cat rolled 2, they would be allowed to do 2 hits. However, you can only do 1 hit per warrior you have in that clearing. So even if the Marquise de Cat rolled 2, they only have 1 figure, so they would just do 1 damage, so they would knock out 1 of my lizard folk. The damage is simultaneous, so if the lizard folk got a 1, the 1 would take out the Marquise de Cat, and the 2 from the Marquise de Cat would take out the lizard folk. So the damage is done simultaneously to each other. So on that delightful note, we shall roll. Nope, not gonna do it. No. Nope. So in this case, the attacker will do 1 damage, and the defender will do 0 damage. So the 1 kitty takes out 1 of my men. But I am special. When I am defending, and one of my lizard men is destroyed, they become an acolyte, and I can use them to do conspiracy things later. Yes.
Of course. Always plotting.
Yep. And so that was that battle. And then the next battle in the Fox Clearings is this one. So I rolled, hey, there we go. So the attacker gets a 2, and the defender gets a 1. So we take each other out. But I'm strong. So I'm strong. So it's good. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Okay. So that was the battle step. Then we're going to do the move step. Any clearing with 3 or more warriors, we're going to do a move. From any clearing of the activated suit with 3 or more warriors, we are going to move from that clearing to the next height, either to the one that has enemies or to the highest one in priority order. But
we don't have that, so we're not doing it.
So it doesn't matter. Then we're going to recruit. So we're going to look at the crafting cost and the type. So because this is cooperative, they're going to get, in every mouse clearing, not just the one they rule, they're going to get 1 cat.
We're going to lose so bad, guys.
We're going to lose so bad.
We're going to lose so bad.
So one way to make this easier is, even in cooperative mode, if you play with, they have to rule it, because, for example, no mouse would go here or here.
I really think we should play that way, because we're going to get our butt handed.
Do you want to start? Yeah.
Yes, we're going to get our butt handed to us.
To make the game last longer, we are going to play with the rule, which normally isn't in the cooperative game. So in this case...
And this mechanic, it's so difficult.
Yeah. You can
it's like Ghost Stories difficult.
Yeah, you can eventually win, so
yeah,
it's valid to play this way, but oh my goodness, it's difficult. Okay, so then I'm going to discard this card, and...
So when it's discarded, it goes to my last souls. Yes!
Yeah, and a terrible thing, if the card doesn't have a crafting cost, you could reveal another card and go again.
And you battle again.
Yeah, and you battle again and move again.
Okay.
And recruit.
So that is the Mechanical Marquise's turn.
Yep, and then we are going to redraw to 5 cards.
Boom. And then...
And the Mechanical Marquise does start with items to solve the Vagabond, which we're not playing.
It's not relevant. But they are...
Well, it is because it takes items out of the ones we can craft.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Okay. Steve had his first alcoholic beverage in 26 days. And I had my first caffeine shot.
Wow, second.
And I had my first shot of espresso, fully loaded caffeine in 7 months. So this is a fun stream, y'all!
I went to the First and Last Chance. It's a bar that was made in the 1800s out of the timbers of old ships. You can't just get a Coke.
Okay. You don't drink Coke anyway. Take a turn, Otter Man.
I think you ought to be quiet.
Oh my god.
Okay, I have a spy card. What I can do, which I'm going to do, at any time during my turn.
In daylight. It's in daylight. You have to do it in daylight. Literally says in daylight on the card. Literally just... This game is so great. It's literally just do the thing on the cards. Like, I've never, like...
Or it's in the rules.
Steve loves to FAQ stuff, but, like, it's literally, like, in daylight. Like, it says right here. You just do it in daylight, honey. In daylight.
Okay. It's on the card, it says in daylight. But it can go to my play area at any time. It doesn't have to necessarily be in daylight. Okay. If this is empty, I'm going to add 2 warriors, but it's not empty. Thank you, Tiffany. If I have any trade posts, I get points for every funds I haven't spent. I don't have any funds in the fund box. And then all of the warriors on my board go to the funds box. So now I've entered my daylight. Also, I can treat rivers as paths. I can always just move along them, which is awesome. Oh, did you explain whenever you move, you have to either rule the clearing you're going to or from? No,
because my movement doesn't work that way.
So normally all moves, you need to rule either the clearing you're coming from or to, which is a nice way to sort of restrict movement on the map.
Unless you're me. In which case, you can't move at all.
But my special rule is I can move along rivers regardless of who rules them, so I get to break that rule, but only for river movement.
You ought to know.
It means you can basically get trapped or you can cut off your opponent, which is sort of a wargamey type situation. All right. Okay, so I can do things. I can move, battle, craft, draw a card, recruit, or establish trade posts. And recruiting or establish trade posts require spending these. Otherwise, I'm just moving them aside and I can get them back later. So we need to do trade posts so we can draw cards. However, I also need to draw cards.
But it's 1 fun to draw a card.
It is 1 fun to draw a card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2... I'm going to establish a trade post. Spend 2 otters to make a mouse trade post. This gets me 2 points. And I'm sort of going from left to right on here. Which doesn't super matter. That gets me 2 points. And then I place a warrior there. Then I want to be at a clearing that the lizard folk rule, which at the moment is only that one. So I'm going to spend 2 lizard folk funds to place a rabbit trade post here, which also places a warrior, and I get 2 more points. Now I have 3 funds left, and I have a hand limit of 5. So one thing that I can do, I'm going to commit both lizard folk to draw, or I'm going to commit 1 to draw 1 card. And one draw another. Sadly, you can't use ambush cards against the mechanical marquise. And I could craft, but I can't afford anything because I craft based on trade posts, so I need as many trade posts as the crafting costs. Alright, I'm going to put the spy in my play area. So in daylight, I may reveal an order. Then if it's not discarded, I can swap any 2. But if it reveals a mouse, I discard this. So the spies are just for co-op play. So I'm going to reveal the leftmost order card, and hopefully it's not a bad one. Alright, it's Code Breakers. So they're going to get 1 more in every mouse clearing that they rule, which will be the keep. Will be there and here. So what I can do, and then I may swap any 2 orders. So I'm going to put it back, and then I'm going to spend this last otter fund to move 3 otters down the river with my special river movement. So now the mechanical marquise doesn't rule that clearing.
Very nice. You
I put the spy card back. Yep. Yep.
Which the spy card, it was revealed.
It stays out.
No, a mouse was revealed.
Oh, yep.
So it's gone. Thank you. Okay.
Good call.
So
I'm going to discard down to 5 cards, and I'm going to set the service costs. So, thank you for giving me a bunch of lizard folk. What are the odds you're going to want to use riverboats? Pretty low, right?
Pretty low. I can't move.
What about mercenaries? Do you require a rule for anything?
To put down gardens. I would potentially like to do mercenaries to do this.
Okay. And you can buy 2 services next turn, because there's 1 trade post and a lizard clearing.
So I would like to do mercenaries here, and I would like to do mercenaries here. Because then I can get 2 mouse gardens down.
It's mercenaries everywhere if you just buy mercenaries once. So do we want to set mercenaries at 4? And then
I need to purchase both of these cards.
Oh, and you can't, because I have 2 trade posts.
Yes. Okay. So please don't set mercenaries...
2?
Yes. No, hand cards to 1, mercenaries to 2. You will get 4 of me. Because I'm buying 2 of these.
Hand card twice. Okay.
Yep.
Alright. Negotiated.
Actually, you can do mercenaries to 3, then you'll have 5, so you can have more cards. Because I'm gonna buy you.
Yeah, because we're every...
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. See, so this is the kind of co-op game we can play. It's where we both do very different things, and he doesn't get to tell me how I play my turn.
And maybe the mechanical marquees will be too easy, because we are, they have to rule a clearing to place things there.
Maybe we'll find out. We'll find out. Okay, so my birdsong, I adjust the outcast. So I look to see how many lost souls I have, and the faction type that has the most in my lost souls becomes the outcast. And there's a tie, so I get to pick. So I want the foxes to be hated, because they already were outcasts. So if they're hated, it's even cheaper for me. And then I discard my lost souls. Actually, technically, before I did that, I have to purchase cards from Steve. And yes. I already discussed this. I'm purchasing 2 cards. 2 of your finest mice cards, please. So I'm purchasing these. And then I am also spending 3 to purchase mercenaries this turn. So I can... mercenary services. So I can now use the services of the actors.
Yes. To either battle or rule. But battling is hard for you.
Yeah, I don't like battling. Okay, so now I have artificially increased my hand size, which is very nice, very nice. And I will do my conspiracies. So in clearings that have foxes, I can do conspiracy things. So I love it. I can spend acolytes, these guys, I can discard them to do things in fox clearings. So I am going to spend 1, because it's hated, I have a cheaper cost, so I'm going to spend 1 acolyte to remove this cat and instead put a fox.
There's a game called Home on Lagrange?
Wow. Okay, then.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
I hope that game has a lot of points.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and spend... Ooh, do I want to just do this everywhere? Yeah, maybe the cats do need to pop up everywhere.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, because otherwise we're just gonna
destroy them.
So they would have gotten 1 at that, and then they would have gotten 1 at each of these. Okay.
We're gonna play.
We'll put them back to normal.
Yeah, because I just was like, oh yeah, I can just wipe them out. Okay, so on that delightful note, I am going to go ahead and spend 2 acolytes. Normal cost is 3. I'm gonna spend these 2 to remove. Oh no, I can't do that with these dudes. It's so nice. So I will spend 1 to turn this cat into a lizard man. I'm turning robots into lizard cultists, and it's my favorite. Yes.
Oh yeah, we would just destroy them if they.
Yes. Yeah, strike me down. So that was my conspiracy theory round. And now I'm going to do daylight. So I'm going to reveal this mouse card to go ahead and put a mouse garden over here.
So I know we're playing the cooperative rules.
Then I'm going to go ahead and do another mouse clearing.
We were considering making it a little easier, but we're just going to play basically normal co-op. With a couple cards out of the deck.
Basically, I need to rule a clearing and reveal a card to put my garden down, and because I paid Steve to have mercenary abilities, I rule these clearings, because his otters count as me, which is fabulous. So I did that.
I thought you were going to say the otters count as meat, and I was going to be very worried. Because, yeah.
And then I'm going to reveal a bird to make another alkalite. And then this I'm going to reveal another bird to do alkalite. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a bunny to put a lizard here. And then I'm going to play another bunny to put another bunny garden. Got a bunny garden right there.
Whoa, how many gardens are you putting down?
All of them.
Oh.
We will spread to the ends of the earth. And then I will play the fox to do a fox garden over here. Come at me, bro. So now I have gardens. I could do it here, but I like the idea of being fire spread out. So that was me revealing all my cards. So now I take my cards back in my hand and I can craft. So now I have a bunch of gardens, so I can afford to craft, which is fabulous. And because I have to discard down to 5 anyway, I should craft because crafting will use cards. So I can use each of my gardens once to help me craft. And I'm going to go ahead and... that doesn't super help me. Wow, I just realized I have literally no items in my hand. Look at this. They're all... I literally have no items to craft. But I can make a bunch of abilities.
Yep. Also, as far as crafting goes, the item has to be out. So...
yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and craft a cobbler. So at the start of evening, I need to have 2 bunny clearings to craft it, and I do. I have one here and one here that have my gardens. And so at the start of evening, I can now make a movement, which is very nice. So this one's useless for me.
Oh, so that's a great way to get a move as the lizard folk.
Mm-hmm.
Lizard folk.
And then I'm going to go ahead and... well, that's worthless. I am going to use the... sorry, I just want to take my turn. I'm going to go ahead and do this bird song to basically, in battle as a defender, I can discard this card to deal an extra hit, which is nice. And then I'm actually going to draw 2 cards.
3 cards.
3 cards. Do I want... I feel like the Marquise is going to come at me a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one, which requires a fox clearing. And so in battle, I can discard this to ignore all rolled hits taken, which I don't know I'll necessarily want to do because I want them to strike me down so I can become stronger. But it's good to have options. So I've gone ahead and crafted everything I want to.
That could help you keep my... oh no, never mind.
I've gone ahead and crafted everything I want to. /can. So I draw 3 cards because I've revealed 2 new draw symbols, which is very nice. And now I have to discard down to 5 cards. And what I discard will help determine what faction I get discounts or I get to do conspiracies with on my next turn.
Which determines like where you can move, basically.
Not where I can move.
Just crusade.
Where I can crusade.
Yeah.
And because we did the spy and I know there's a mouse, I will go ahead and discard mouse cards. Yeah, I'll discard 2 mouse cards. So I don't adjust my outcast yet. It's next turn. But that is my turn. I am done. And I think at this point I have, except for scoring, I have talked through everything that you can do as the lizard folk. Oh, and battling.
Alright, I'm doing Mechanical Marquise. One thing I was going to mention is, for when I was doing Learning Game, I ran through the 4-player tutorial solo for this, and that really helped me learn it. So if you have this and want to learn it, it might be worth setting up the 4-player game and then running through those first 2 tutorial turns.
Marquise, the Mechanical Marquise.
Alright,
They score points.
Alright, so they get 2 points, 1 point per human player. And then 2 points per clearing they rule that have at least 3 of their warriors, which is not yet. Thank goodness. So I will review the first card. It is a mouse card.
Surprise, surprise.
So we battle in clearings matching the mouse card.
Which super didn't... Well,
It's
Yeah,
these
there's
three.
Oi. So we start here. Do you want to roll? Oh, no, that's mine.
Yeah.
2-2.
Ooh.
2-2. So I am going to discard this so that I deal an extra hit, which means we are all removed. And then that goes to my Lost Souls pile.
Yes, to your Lost Souls pile.
No, you don't get to do it. You're not.
Oh, okay.
No, that's
all right. Then let's.
It's this one.
Okay.
Oh, technically this one would have been first. All right.
3 and 2. Oof.
Well, so you obliterate them.
Yeah.
And
so they deal 2 hits, and then I deal 2 hits as the defender.
But my garden remains.
Yes, because otherwise, once we're out of warriors, they would start attacking guardians, and mechanical marquees still get points when they remove buildings and tokens, so we really don't want that to happen. All right, and then the last one. 1 and 0, so they take out 1 Riverfolk, and then I take out none of them.
Alright.
Okay.
So then...
You move all but 3 of their warriors from mouse clearings to other clearings. They don't have 3 warriors in any mouse clearings. Then recruit. So they're going to get 1 cat in every mouse clearing, regardless of rule.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, because they have the keep, they're the only one that can place there. Alright, Lost Soul. Because that did have a crafting cost, we don't do a new card. And then if you could draw 1 more card. So we lucked out in that we had a spy and that they haven't flooded the board. You know, them's the breaks.
Alright, your turn.
And so now they have, they will score...
We need to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, your turn.
Okay. So, I don't get free warriors. I do have trade posts on the map, but I don't have any unspent funds. I'm going to move everything to the funds box. So I have 8 funds right now.
Yeah, I need some of those back.
Yep. So I can spend 2 funds of a clearings ruler to match a trade post, and the lizard cult rules everything with a garden, which is a great little synergy that we have. And I don't have a lot of cards, so I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to spend this otter to draw a card. To see what my options are. Oh my god, these are not useful cards. But let's get some trade posts out. So I will spend 2 lizard folk. And I will do a fox trade post, which places a warrior.
Steve Otter draw a card. That's right. And then you get points for that.
Yes, I get 2 points. I think...
You need to start doing other stuff that gives you points, too.
No, I know which... Oh, and then one thing I can do when I can craft, I can discard a crafted card to place a warrior in the payments box. I think I will spend 2 more. And I think I'm going to go here and do a mouse trade post, which gets me another warrior. Alright. Got 3 lizards left.
And then you get 2 more points?
2 more points, yeah. I'm going to spend another one to recruit a warrior there, so I at least have a little bit of defense if they get another mouse card. And I think I'm going to draw 2 more. Well, I'll draw 1 more card in case it's something I can craft. It's a scouting party. Not affected by ambush cards, it doesn't really matter, so I will draw another card. The Better Burrow Bank. At the start of Birdsong, you and another player draw a card.
Only if you craft it.
Only if I craft it. Holy goodness, I wish I had a second bunny trade post. Dang. Okay. Discard down to 5 cards. Doesn't matter. Cost. Do you want to buy anything? You don't really need mercenaries this round because you rule those clearings. You rule all the clearings that I have otters in.
I get to do moves. I get to take a move now because of my thing.
At the cobbler, yeah. Oh, so that could...
But I don't know if there's anywhere I want to move necessarily.
Okay. Should I drop it to 1 in case there is?
Let me think.
These give you acolytes. And you can buy up to 5 cards now.
Yes. Cards are the best for me. I think I'll definitely buy 2 cards. So if you want to go ahead and set your price to 2.
I'll set it to 2.
Yep.
I'll drop mercenaries to 1 then.
Okay. Alright, you done?
Alright, yep. I was setting my service costs. I'm done.
Okay. So, first things first is I make purchases from Steve. So, hello, good otter folk. I would like to buy. I'm gonna buy these 2. Actually, Brutal Tactics is super tempting to craft. I'm gonna take that.
Do you want to buy 3 cards?
No. No. Then I can adjust my outcasts. So there are 3 mouse. So sadly, we're no longer hating foxes, but the mice are outcast. So it means I get to do thingies in the mice clearings. And then I discard my last souls to the actual discard. Then I have 3 acolytes that I can spend to do stuff in mouse clearings. And I think that's actually really helpful because they have a bunch of stuff in mouse clearings, but I can only handle 1 of them. So I think what I'm going to do is they move all but 3 of their warriors, so they're not actually going to move those.
They're not going to move anywhere.
But they will score points for those.
Well,
if they rule them. So the one they rule, the one they don't.
Orders, but...
Not before the... Yeah, okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 to convert... I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 of them to... Do I want to make that, or do I want to start a fight? Do I want to convert a cat into a lizard, or do I want to start a fight? And I think I want to convert a cat to...
Can't place there. Because of the keep.
Okay, but I'm not placing.
I believe it says...
Oh, in place. Yep.
Somebody did... Not a lot of holes in these rules. That's another thing I like about this game.
But I can move into it.
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to start some stuff. So I'm going to discard these 2 to move these 2 from a clearing I rule, or not even from a clearing I rule, into a clearing that has some stuff going on.
Remember, that is now defenseless. For now. It's fine. You can recruit them.
Look, I'm trying to remove the rule from there, and I can't move very well.
Yeah,
and they rule it if the keep is there, period, right?
No.
No, so if I can get majority there, we're good.
And they get points per clearing they roll with at least 3 of their warriors. So if you just take out 1.
Okay, so I'm going to keep 1 here. And then I'll battle that one guy. Woohoo! That one, he's amazing. So it's a 3 versus 0. So he'll take out 1 cat, which is good. That's all we needed. I have 1 last acolyte, but I can't spend them, so I'm not going to do that. Now I am in the daylight phase. And so for daylight, I'm going to go ahead and do So many things. So many things. Okay, I'm gonna do a bunny card to place a bunny. And then I'm gonna do another bunny card to place a bunny garden. And then I'm gonna go ahead and discard this bunny card to my lost souls to score bunnies. So I score 2 points. Woohoo! Because I have revealed that. So I discard a card the right to score the rightmost matching, blah, blah, blah. So I score 2 points. I finally have points, yo. Then... I'm gonna go ahead and reveal a mouse to put a near there, which is nice. To put another one on a mouse clearing. And then I will discard this mouse card to score another 2 points. And then I will reveal this bird card to get another accolade. And then I will reveal this fox card to put another on a fox clearing. And so then I'm out of cards. The start of my evening, I can do a move. So I'm going to go ahead and move both of these. I'll just move one. I'll move one. And then I will go ahead and I return all my cards. And then I can craft.
How did you get the second accolade? Or did you start with 2 accolades?
I started with 1 and I just put another one in.
Got it. With the bird.
Yeah. I will go ahead and craft root tea. So that will go there. Because I have a mouse garden. So I gain another 2 points. And I get the tea kettle. And then...
okay.
What?
So I'm just seeing who's going to get hated.
It's just... I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Mind your own stuff. Then I'm going to go ahead and... We can go either way here. Craft crossbow for another point. That's all I will craft. Then I get to draw 3 cards. 2, 3, and then I have to draw back. I have to discard back down. And I'll go ahead and discard the bird.
Is that the one you did to get the accolade? Or no?
What?
I don't know.
I don't discard to do accolades.
Oh, okay, right. I thought.
Okay. My turn is done. It's mechanical marquez.
Alright. I don't know why I thought it was discard for that. Alright. We are doing battle and move in bunny clearings. So we battle in all bunny clearings. So let's start down here.
Right there.
Ooh, 2.
Oh.
So
Nope.
they take out 1.
Just 1.
Yep. And then lizards take out 0. One and 1.
Yay, my building is fine.
Yep. And is that it? Yep.
That's it.
Okay, move all but 3 warriors out of bunny clearings, but they don't have that anywhere. And then we recruit based on the crafting cost, which is, yet again, we have really lucked out. It's a single mouse. So we're going to go 1, 2... Oh, shoot. I forgot to do their scoring stuff.
They scored 2 points for us, and that was it.
And then...
They don't roll there.
Oh, right. Good call. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Okay, and then this gets discarded because as a crafting cost, we don't do it all again. Okay, so we have crazy lucked out so far.
Bunnies.
Okay. Riverfolk turn. This is empty. I get 2 warriors. Nope. No unspent funds. Don't get dividends. Everything goes to the funds box.
If there's any way you could discard a mouse, that would be great. A mouse card.
There is. First, I really need to craft this better burrow bank.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So what I'm going to do is do you rule a bunny clearing?
Yes. Do I rule a bunny clearing?
So I'm going to spend 2 funds.
Oh, Steve. Oh, no, there's no fighting here in this bunny kingdom because there's no...
Yeah.
Oh, did we fight here?
Yes.
We did fight.
We removed. Yep.
Lower left. This one. Oh, yes. Mouse clearings. So we fight in bunnies, but the crafting cost was bunnies. We fight in bunnies, but the crafting cost is this tiny little icon, which you can't see, which in this case was mouse. In previous rounds, the crafting cost was also the suit cost.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to spend 2 to do a trade post in a bunny clearing, which also lets me get another warrior, and then I get 2 more points. So now I can commit funds. So I will commit... so when I commit, I actually cover up the trade posts that I have down. So I'm going to commit an otter and a lizard, and I'm going to craft the better burrow bank. So at the start of Birdsong, me and another player draw a card, which is great because we need cards.
Yeah.
Then I have 3 funds left. This is a problem. So I'm going to commit a fund to...
If you can make mice hated, I can deal with them.
If I can make mice hated?
Yes. So we need 1 more mice in this... 1 more mouse in this thing.
Alright, well, I'm going to take a risk and draw a card. Maybe it's a mouse card. It's a mouse card.
Oh, and it's points!
But I don't know how to... get it in the discard, though.
Can't you... Oh, because you
I would have to craft it, but I already crafted.
You shouldn't have already crafted. I keep thinking this is commit a fraud to battle, and I'm like, well, you are a trading company. Capitalism.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is if I spend a fund...
Hey, mediocre gamer!
I can place an otter. And then if I commit a fund, I can battle there.
Nice!
Nice. Alright, so I take out 3 cats.
But they take out?
They take out
2 otters. Oh, and your otters, when they die, they don't come back to you as acolytes that you can use to spread conspiracies. That's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
That's awkward.
One thing to note, if I lose a trade post, they go back to the box. So I can't build them again.
There's only a set number of points that Steve can get in a game by just doing trade posts.
Yep.
So, yep.
Alright, discard down to 5 cards. Nope. Set service cost. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to leave hand cards at 2. I'm going to put mercenaries to 2.
Well, at least this was resolved. So, do I want to buy a card from Steve? I think...
And you can craft the travel gear.
Crafting is another way that I get points. Oh, that's so sexy, though. I will purchase your travel gear, my friend. Thank you, sir. And then I will go, that's all I'm going to buy. Then I'm going to adjust the outcast. So sadly, we couldn't make mice hated. There's mostly bunnies. So bunnies are now the outcast.
I tried.
It's okay. So I have 4 acolytes, and I can spend them in bunny clearings. So, basically, I'm going to definitely convert this guy into one of them. And then, we're playing now. Leader wants to know how the game's going.
I don't think we've messed up any important rules.
Check my last tweet. I don't think he knows we're live.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
The Riverfolk Company's motto is, where there's muck, there's clams. I like that.
It's very different from my motto, which is strike us down and we will become stronger.
Yeah, you will be assimilated. There's some great mottos for you in fiction.
Yeah, okay. So, that is all my conspiracies. Yes!
I will point out, we have had the luckiest possible draws in
I'm going to go ahead...
The recruits for the mechanical marquees.
Nope. Okay, I'm going to reveal that to do a fox clearing here. And
Fox
then,
Garden.
Fox Garden, sorry. And then I will... Actually, I'm going to say I played this one. And then I will discard this one to score fox clearings, which gets me 2 points. And then I will go ahead and reveal this one to... I was going to do a thing. With mice. This is the best gross part. So because I have a garden here, I rule here. So I can put another garden here.
Oh, by playing that mouse card? Yeah, that's...
Yeah, but it's awful. Very vulnerable because if they fight there, I'm going to lose points there, which is not ideal. So actually, instead of doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put... For that mouse card, I'm going to put that there. And then I will discard this mouse card. Do I want to do that right now? And the answer is yes, to score 2 more points. Because either way, I have to discard it, and it's worth more points to do that instead of crafting. Then I'll reveal this bird card to get an acolyte, and then I will reveal this bunny card. Bunny card. Do I want to score another 2 points? Or do I want to strengthen my hold within the bunny realm?
Who do you want to be the outcast next turn?
Preferably the mice. So I'm going to go ahead and use the bunny to put another garden down. What? This one right here. Look at that. Look at that. It's so great. So great. And then I can go ahead and start of my evening. I get to do a move. So for that move, I'm going to go ahead and... A move is 2 spaces, yes?
No.
Is it just one path? Right.
It is
the Marquise de Cat can move.
It is as many as you want. Are you doing your cobbler move?
Wait, I can move as much as I... No. Like, spaces.
It's as many figures as you want. As many words as you want. 1 space.
1 space. Okay.
Is 1 move.
I'm going to move... I'm gonna move... this... Fox... That to there. Because I rule that clearing so I can do that move. And now they don't rule that clearing. So they will not score points for that. So then I get my cards back. Woohoo! And then I can craft if I want, and I definitely want to craft. I'm going to craft investments, which is 2 bunny clearings, which I definitely have for 3 points. Boom. And then... I think I'm gonna, I could craft that. The question is, do I want to craft that? I think I really need a card. But I'm gonna draw 3 more cards. And then I can buy more cards from you.
Well, only this ambush card. Oh no, I'll get more cards.
I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna craft the tax collector, which, once in daylight, I can remove one of my warriors to draw a card, which will be helpful because it'll get me some of the warriors, like these guys, I don't need them here.
Yeah, and then you can spend them on my stuff too. So.
Exactly. So, that is my crafting. So now I get to draw 4 cards, because I now have 3 draw symbols, plus my base 1 draw. And then I still have to discard down to 5, which will affect my lost souls, so I want to make sure if we're doing mice, which I think I want to do, I don't want to mess that up. Is that each?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and discard that card, so I'm at 5.
And bird cards don't affect the outcasts, right?
Yes, bird cards don't affect outcasts. And I am done. And it's the Marquise de Cat.
Alright, first order card is... Armorers.
Root is back in stock.
Okay, so, this is interesting. All clearings match bird cards. This is the first bird card that came out. So we're going to battle in
everywhere.
All clearings.
Great. I'm super not excited about that.
Okay, so let's start with this clearing.
Okay.
Oh, oops, points. I forgot to do the points.
They score 2 points because there's 2 humans.
Because they do not rule any clearings with 3 of the warriors because of Tiffany's awesome cobbler move.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna battle.
In the big clearing.
Whoa! 0-0.
Even though you kind of undid that roll, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. Nothing happens there. Great. Okay, next clearing. Nope.
Nope.
And then nope. And then nope. And then nope. And then yes.
Oh, goodbye, little otter friend.
Goodbye.
Okay, and then this one, nope. And then come at me, bro.
Strike us down.
That was not great for me, but that's fine. I have more acolytes now. It's great. Okay. Nope. And then yes. Oh, that is so good that card didn't get taken out.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay. And then nope. That's it.
All right, we did all the battles. So move all but 3 warriors from anywhere to the one that has the most enemy warriors, or if tied, the highest clearing priority.
You can't place warriors on the keep. I moved them in.
Yep.
I did not place them.
Yes.
I moved them.
That's an important clarification.
Because I have the cobbler, which lets me move in the evening. It's the only way I can move in this game.
Well, you did a crusade with the other 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so the moving doesn't happen. Then recruit.
Lizards don't move well.
They do not. So we're going to recruit 1 cat in every fox clearing. And because it's co-op... Because it's co-op, it's all of them, regardless of if they rule it, which I think is definitely a rule that needs to happen. And it had a crafting cost, so we don't do another one. And then we draw one.
It's 0 through 3 on the die, so it's a D4, but it's 0 through 3. For the
dice. I think they literally just roll better than D4s. Okay.
Okay, we need to
start a bird song.
You points.
Me and another player draw a card.
Yes, I love you.
So, me.
Another player.
It is Brutal Tactics. In battles, attacker may deal an extra hit, but the defender scores 1 point. Which could be good for us, because it could prevent them from...
You actually battle.
Ruling, etc. Okay. So, payments box is not empty. I have no unspent funds, so I'm going to gather funds. So, I really need to start scoring dividends.
You also need cards.
I do need cards.
How do you score dividends?
Every 2 funds that are unspent. If I have any trade posts, I get 1 point.
Okay, well, you also need cards.
Yes.
For me to want to buy.
Is there anything that I want? I kind of want to craft Brutal Tactics.
If you actually are going to attack, but you don't have the dudes down.
I don't have the dudes down to attack. And it won't get me any points. So let's start by drawing a card.
But you need to put some bodies in spots to help defend your gardens.
I do. Tax Collector. Once in daylight, remove 1 of your warriors to draw a card.
I got that one. That's nice.
Yeah, that is nice. And I can craft it now.
It's also a fox card.
So let's... Yeah, I need to get...
I need fox cards.
And I can only have... You need fox cards?
I don't need bird cards. Let me just put it this way. The cat's gonna kill me enough. I don't need bird cards.
Alright, let's see what we get. Hey! It's a fox card.
Hey, Doug!
Yeah, I need bodies in both of those. So I can just spend all 4 of these to put 2 warriors down in each. Let's start with 3 and do 2.
Nice. Yeah, put some defense.
Okay,
well,
so
this guy too. So now he.
Though, if the mice stay
hated,
well, no, they gotta get outcast. But I can convert one of them into a lizard.
Would you rather have another card, or should I protect that location?
I'd rather have you protect the location.
Yep.
Thank you. And if you set your price to...
I need funds. Can I set it to 3?
Oh, I can't buy 2 cards. That's 6 dudes.
Yeah.
That means I can only... Oh, yeah, no, that's fine, because I'll spend some acolytes. But you gotta spend them.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll spend them.
Alright.
Alright, discard down to 5 cards, cool. Or I set service costs, alright. So it is your turn.
Doug says happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Kabuki.
Alright, so my start of the turn, I need to purchase from his wares. And I will purchase these 2 fox cards. Per our agreement. For 6.
Actual trade.
I
mean, this is more like price fixing and...
Yeah, there's some insider trading going on.
Yeah.
but it's fine. Okay. I am doing a lot on my turn because I have a lot of cards.
The cats are gonna file some trade disputes.
So the mice are the outcasts, which means there's no discount, which kind of stinks, but it's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2.
Oh, I mean, says that D12s are better to step on than D4s.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Depending on your definition of better. I'm gonna spend 2 lizard folk from my acolytes to go ahead and go on a crusade, and my crusade is I'm gonna battle in any outclass carrying, and I'm gonna battle on that guy. So I'm not even gonna move him. Yup! So I do 3 damage, and they do 1.
Ooh, we've almost got the keep.
If I had 1 more acolyte, I could battle there again, but I don't.
Oh, and you can't do the extra hit.
I can't.
You used your shoppers.
Yep. Okay. So.
Oh, so this is where you could have done brutal tactics.
If I had that. If I had it. Okay. So that's fantastic. Then I get to do a bunch of stuff. Because now, I forget, the keep rule... Yeah, until the keep is gone, I can't place anything there.
Yeah.
So,
but
I'm gonna...
you rule it.
I do rule it. With an iron fist. No, I don't rule it. Because the keep's there.
Keep just means nobody else can place pieces there. But you do still rule it.
But I can't put a garden down because I can't...
Yep.
Oh, it's so stupid. Okay. I mean, it's not stupid. It makes sense. But it's annoying. It's annoying. Okay, this card is not worth points. This card is worth points. I'm gonna go ahead...
Oh, Jaime, I imagine this lizard cultist is trying to recruit the otter by being like, hey, you'd get to wear this cool lizard skull. The otter's just like...
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do Tax Collector to remove this warrior down here. To draw a card. Please be what I need. You weren't what I needed. But it's okay. I love you anyway. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna reveal this bunny card to go ahead and put this bunny clearing right here.
Second favorite art in the game.
This one is Steve's attitude. This is Steve's mood, like half the time.
My mood most of the time can just be described by root card art.
It's true.
The art in this game is so amazing.
Okay, so now this is amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and discard this card to score bunny clearings, and I get 4 points for that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and reveal this bunny card to put another lizard warrior in a bunny clearing, and I think I will put it into this bunny clearing here, maybe. No, you're good. I'll put it there. Okay. And then...
Oh my goodness.
I know, I'm gonna get so many points.
When you score bunnies?
It's the best. Okay. So, this is why lizard folk are really great when the Marquise de Cat is out, because I could just convert him into my people. So I won last time when we played competitively with the Marquise de Cat, and you can see why. So now we're playing together to try and beat him. Because when we played cooperatively before, he destroyed us. Alright, so now I definitely ruled this because I have majority. So I'm going to go ahead and...
Building? Oh, no.
Your trading posts don't count as buildings.
Don't count for rule, yeah.
Then I'm going to go ahead...
Oh, that's right. If a trade post gets removed, I remove half of my funds as well.
And do...
So I need to not lose trade.
That there. And then I'll go ahead... Ooh, yeah, I gotta defend that. Do I discard that? I'll defend that. I need to defend that because that is not good. And then... I just got points, but whatever. I will go ahead and discard this card to score mice, which get me 2 points. And I will reveal this card to put a warrior strike me down. A mouse warrior there. And then I will reveal this card, which is my last card, which is a bird card, to have an acolyte. And then I pick up all my cards. Sorry, before I may do a move. So at the start of my evening phase, I can do a move. And I will go ahead and move these two guys here. And then now I pick up the cards. Now I can craft. I'm going to go ahead. I have 2 bunny clearings for sure. So I'm going to craft this bake sale, which gets me this other coin stack, which gets me another 3 points. And then I will go ahead and craft this arms trader, which I have 2 fox clearings, so I can get this sword, which gets me another 2 points.
Holy moly.
We gotta get you up, man. But once I get my points done, I can like funnel you money and keep the marquise down.
Yep.
And then we've also been really lucky because the marquise has only spawned individual spawns.
Yeah.
But they could be spawning 3 at a time into clearings. They just haven't.
Yeah, my first time I played, I think the first 3 rounds they were doing 3 at a time. And we did make it easier by taking 3 of the 3 spawns out.
I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to this card instead of crafting it. No, I'm not. Play like a rebel. I'm gonna use a mouse. I'm a lizard cult. We don't care about lives. We take risks. Strike us down and we'll become stronger. Something. So I craft that one to get another point.
I could do more, but
let this be a lesson. If you're playing against the lizard cult, don't let this happen.
Let us grow. We will spread the word. Yeah. So we're looking at a bunny thing, but if we can get some more mice into there, they'll be hated, which would be nice. Right. Then I go ahead and draw 4 cards to. Also, don't make your card prices really cheap, Riverfolk, so I can buy them, unless you want me to do that.
Because this is quite the snowball.
It's the best snowball. Snowballs are delicious. I'm gonna hold on to that. I should hold on to this, but do I care? Yeah, I need to care. I still need to care because Steve needs to care. But I'll discard that, and I will discard that. So, I discard boxes.
Alright.
That's my turn!
I'm rooting for you, Mechanical Marquise. +2 per clearing. They rule with at least 3 of their warriors. No! And then 1 point per human player.
Yeah, so they just get 2 points.
Yep. Alright, reveal the next order card. It's a spy.
Well, that doesn't do anything.
It battles and moves.
Hang on. So it'll do... The spy part doesn't make sense. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but we just...
However, it is a fox. So, fox clearings battle. Starting with this guy. Yeah, so they obliterate me, but I don't obliterate them. But we do... Oh, no, I do.
Yeah, they do. You do 1 to each other, because you each only have 1 warrior.
Yes. I have 2 warriors. I take out both, but it's fine.
Yep.
Okay, and then...
We can just do...
I'm doing according to the chart.
Yep.
I'm doing according to the chart.
Which is, I mean, you don't have to, it's only for moves, but...
But I'm doing according to the chart. The chart exists.
It does.
To the chart. This one. Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, there's only 1 though, so we're fine.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
That's why you want a warrior.
And then the next one is this one. No, that's a mouse. We're doing foxes.
Oh, right. Yes,
it's a fox.
right.
Okay, this guy. And so, who do they attack? Because we're both here.
Defender is the player with the most pieces there, then most victory points.
Ooh, well, he just takes out 1 of mine, and I take out 1 of his. Yes.
Then highest setup priority is the tiebreaker.
And then the last one is this guy. Well, luckily there's only 1 cat in all of these instances. Hey, guess what? I have a lot of acolytes.
Yeah, you do.
Come at me, kitty bro. Yeah, you don't want me putting lots of things down, because when you battle, it just makes me stronger.
Yup. Alright, to the Lost Souls.
Ooh,
and because we don't recruit, we do another order. And it's Sappers. So we battle and move in everything.
So it's a bird card, which means it's all wild. The clearings now activate in battle. Which means I can lose some of my gardens, which is not super great for me.
Yeah.
But
I say the rule is battle and all clearings matching the order card, and because bird cards match everything, it's everything. So there's some like subtleties in the game. Everything is clear, but
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's yours.
Alright, they take out 2.
And you take out 1.
I take out 1.
Okay. And then 8, and then 9. Oops. Oh, I'm gonna discard my armors. In battle, I can discard this to ignore all rolled hits taken. So I ignore that entire battle. And then that happens, and then that happens, which is you.
Is it?
To ignore all rolled hits taken.
But I think that's... Oh, I would assume that that only affects you.
So then I would do 1 damage to them? Okay.
That's how I'd interpret it. But...
Alright, and then you're the last clearing of battles. Okay, they take out one of your others. Okay. So move. Now they would move, but they don't have enough on the board to move. And we've actually almost wiped them out.
And then recruit 1 per mouse clearing.
And they've come back. Again, we're lucky because there's only 1 recruit symbol on... We've only had 1 recruit symbol each time, which is pretty amazing. And then I get that card. So now I can pick between foxes or bunnies for my outcasts.
Right, and then 2 cards.
Next turn. But I really hope that Steve maybe can do something about that. But you need to get
Okay,
points.
Start of my bird song. I and another player draw a card. I have no unspent funds. Ooh, this card is the one we don't want the Marquise to draw. Well, it's 4 warriors and the one we keep. But in Birdsong, may discard this to score 1 point per clearing I rule.
Yeah, it's not going to go well with me.
Oh, well, yeah, you don't.
Because I have gardens everywhere.
Yeah. So, that's pointless. Okay. Protectionism, no. Score dividends, no. Gather funds. Alright, I have 8 funds, which is potentially 4 points. Let's start by drawing a card. That's 2 points if I craft it. Let's draw another card, so I've got all 5. Sweet.
Ooh, well, you can't craft that.
No,
but
craft that one.
You could craft it to discard the card to put a warrior in your placements, but then it gets discarded, and then I can make mice hated. Because we're tied right now between bunnies and foxes.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna spend 2 to place a fox trade post somewhere that you rule.
Yeah, there. Or up there. There's lots of options.
Well, there's fine. Which gets me 2 more points. And then I'm gonna commit 2 lizard folk to craft this. Do I want the 2 points?
You can't get the 2 points. There's no swords.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The Marquise and I have them all.
But, okay.
Thank you. That will allow me to hate, and I have a lot of acolytes, so I can do a lot of hateful things. Including removing a building, which includes the Marquise's keep.
Is the hammer is out, though? Oh, but I don't have another fox thing. Okay, so no crafting can really happen. Do you want the potential to draw a new card, or are you fine?
No, I'm fine. I have a beautiful hand. I love my hand. I don't need more. I will buy from you, so you get...
I need warriors. Unless there's something you can do. Are mouse going to be hated?
Oh, they're going to be hated. So it's fine.
So you can take care of those two?
Yeah. They oh yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
I'm just going to get...
Hey, Patrick!
I'm just going to get a point.
Patrick!
Alright, I'm just going to get a point.
This is going very well. We like it.
Alright, service costs. Do you want my cards?
I will buy them so that you have dudes, but I can't buy that many. I only have 3 dudes. So
set it to 4, just so... Oh, no, I see.
No, I can't.
Set it to 3, so if you...
We're not playing competitive. Okay. Don't set it to 4s. Set it to 3, and then you can have them... I will give you all of my remaining warriors. There you go.
All right, my turn is done.
Patrick, we have played this. This is our most played game of 2018 so far.
Basically, it's so good.
Not basically, like it is.
Yeah.
It is our most played game of 2018. So thank you very much. We've taken it to every game night that we've gone to in February. And we've both played it without each other, with strangers. And Steve's played it solo. I probably won't play it solo. It's too much for me to want to do solo. Alright. My turn. Birdsong. Mr. Ottoman. Mr. Ottoman, I will buy this fox card from you. Foxy.
Also, I like playing this cooperatively, or I like playing this because we both play completely differently, which is really cool.
Yes. Okay, so now I can adjust the outcast.
See? Look how happy she is.
The mice are now hated. Look how many cards are we. I love it. So the mice are now hated, and I have 6 accolades. So this is the best part. I'm so happy. So I'm gonna spend 2 accolades to remove an enemy building. Goodbye, Marquise Keep.
Whoa!
Goodbye. Wait. Remove an enemy building in an outcast clearing and place a guard.
Remove an enemy warrior. And
no,
you can't.
Building.
Oh, sanctify.
Remove a warrior building. Remove a warrior building.
Because they're hated. Okay, so that goes back to the box. Right, because now you can place.
And I get to do it as part of the action.
Boom.
Yes. Okay. And now this little kitty turns into a lizard man, and this little kitty turns into a lizard man, and this little kitty turns into, and this little kitty turns into a lizard man.
This is just cautionary tale against playing games with the lizard folk. And they got nerfed.
Don't.
Or no, boost, or no, those things help you.
No,
right?
they got.
Oh yeah.
I like the lizard folk a lot. Yeah. Okay. But I can be stopped. We played a 4-player game, and I was playing the Lizardman, and I got the Vagabond ran away with it, because I was helping the Vagabond a little too much, but I was not far behind.
Yeah.
I was 2nd place. Okay, so now it's...
The only change we're playing from normal co-op is we just took the favor of the cards out, so that we were hoping we just wouldn't get blown out right at the start of the game.
Because the last time we played, we got blown out at the beginning of the game, and it was like, that's an awful stream. So we kind of stacked it a little bit. But we'll shuffle them back in if we go through the deck, which, yeah. Okay, so now it's my daylight phase, so I get to do some stuff.
Some rituals.
Yes. Which is basically I'm going to win the game.
Don't we have a ritual coffee roasters? Isn't that local? I'm now seeing it in a whole new light with lizards and skull masks.
I'm going to reveal the spy card. So reveal the first card of the thingy.
Hit it. Oh, your spy was caught. It's a bunny.
Okay, but we know it's a bunny, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a two recruit bunny.
Discard the spy, making it available.
Oh, we should have.
What is making it available?
Okay, so when you discard dominance cards or.
Oh, I can swap any suitors, but
yes.
it was discarded, so it's fine. Okay. So, but we know there's a bunny.
So when that gets discarded, it goes to available instead of going back to the deck. So technically the other spy should be available for us to basically purchase.
We can't purchase them.
You spend a card of that type on your turn to then take the spy.
So the mouse spy.
So the mouse spy should still be out.
Okay, so I could spend a mouse to get a mouse spy.
Let me.
Okay, well, that's there. Okay, so while Steve figures out, I'm going to take the rest of my turn.
You can take an available dominance card into your hand by spending a card of the matching suit, and spy cards count as dominance cards.
I'm going to play a fox to do that, and then I'll reveal another fox. Yeah, okay. So then I'm going to reveal another fox card to put a fox clearing down, and then I will go ahead and discard this fox card to score 3 points. And then I will go ahead and not do that so Steve can do it at some point. But I will go ahead and...
So there's nothing in the cooperative rules that say we can't fight each other.
Come at me, bro. I've already won. I'll discard this mouse card to score mice, and I get 2 points for that. So I've hit the goal of 30. So now I just need to get Steve there and hold down the marquise, which I think we've got. So who knows? It could all go up anyway. Then I will go ahead and use my tax collector that I've played to remove this guy. To draw a card. And then I will go ahead and... I have to have dudes to get killed. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down to put that there, and then I'll do that to do that. So I am out of lizardmen. You either have them all, or they're on the board. So this card's useless to me. I could craft it, but I don't have points anymore. I don't need any more points.
Yep.
So I will return the cards to my hand. I will draw... I'm basically now just supporting Steve's
the spy card does stay in Lost Souls until it gets discarded. I'm saying the other one goes out. Normally they go, yeah. Good catch, Jaime.
Alright. So now I draw 4 cards, which is the rest of the deck.
Alright, so shall we...
Yes. But I'm gonna go ahead and give a shuffle and draw that 4th card. And then I have to discard more. So I'll have to discard down to 5 here in a second.
Alright.
But I can do that while the Marquise is going.
Alright, we are shuffling the favor of the fox, rabbits, and mice back into the deck.
Yeah, because we nerfed the mechanical Marquise a little bit. Because the last time we played him, he destroyed us because like 2 of these cards came out immediately. It was not great. But now they are back in. We talked about it during the setup part of the game. Don't worry about it.
That's right. We've shown enough of the game that now we can power them back up again.
We won't die immediately. Alright, so now I get to discard, which just means my stuff happens. I think a bunny is popping up. I don't have a lot of bunny cards.
2 bunnies.
I know, but I don't have a lot of bunny cards. Ooh, I like that guy. I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna go ahead and discard... Oh, I have both poop cards.
Oh, an add-on with a few more automated player boards. Patrick, leader, don't say that. We'll be tempted. Yeah, the mechanical Marquise is pretty nice and pretty simple.
I'm gonna go ahead and discard all that down to 5. And now it's a mechanical Marquise!
Alright, they get points. +2 for every clearing they roll with 3 or more warriors. Oh, what's that?
They don't have any. But they get 2 points!
All the cats are wearing, like, lizard skulls. And, like...
Yes!
Yeah. Alright, reveal the next order card. It is a...
Bunny!
Bunny card. Alright.
Bunny battles!
Bunny battles.
Bunny battles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so weird. There's like no cats anywhere. I thought the cats ruled. What's up with this? So I rule now, by the way?
Move all but 3 cats out of the bunny clearing. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Alright, recruit.
2 in each bunny clearing.
Because of the 2 bunny crafting costs.
Yep.
So, boop.
So now
boop.
they're rising up again.
And boop.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my clearing.
Alright, and then I've got another lost soul for you.
Alright. We need to get 1 more bunny card all up in here. So I can make bunnies hated. But you also just need to get points.
Yep.
You need to just like blitz to points.
I draw a card, you draw a card.
Dankeschön.
Alright, so... And then, no protectionism. Score dividends. I do get a point.
Yeah.
Because I have
Did you just
2 funds.
You just raised the Marquise, didn't you?
No, we were on the same one. I raised myself to 13.
Okay.
Because I've only gotten points. I've gotten 12 points from a trade post. So I gather all my funds.
Mm-hmm.
So I have I have 10 funds.
It's 5 points. So I rule anything you want? So I would just say establish the rest of your trade posts.
I think so, because that'll get me 6 points.
Yeah. And then I will have warriors to do things.
So let's do a fox trade post. It has to be somewhere where there's no foxes. And again, it has to be the type of ruling, but she rules everything I care about.
I rule everything, period.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's ridiculous.
There's a bunny clearing up there that doesn't have a trading post. Right here.
Is it just these 2? Yeah.
There's this one and this one.
This one is maybe a little better defended.
Sure.
So 2 points for the first one, 2 points for the second one.
Yep.
And then the last mouse. Oh, I should have placed a warrior in each of those, right? This one.
And that one up there.
That one. Alright, mouse clearing.
That one!
Yeah, let's do that. The one that used to have a keep.
Yep. Don't forget your warrior.
Right? That's because I had 10. I've spent 6. Right.
And then you get 2 more points.
2 more points for what?
For the last trade voice that you just put.
Oh, yeah, right. So I should have what?
19 total.
19 total. Yep.
You're there.
Alright, I think we should go to Crafting Town to get more... Well, that would get me more warriors, but... Do I want that?
No.
Because I would just get 2 points from that.
Get 2 points.
Yeah.
And then you can get 2 more otters. Basically, we just need you to just get 2 points next time, and then at least, like, because you'll be there, and then we need to try and get 9 points.
Are there any of these cards you would buy?
I mean, I'll buy them because they need to exist.
2 for 3, I get 6. I would get 6. Is there stuff you want to do?
So foxes are going to be outcast, which... Sure, I can do stuff. But I don't need warriors to do it.
Okay, so you'll buy 2 of my cards.
Great.
Alright, discard down 5 cards. Nope. Set hand costs. Yep. Alright, I'm done. Your turn.
Cool. I will spend all... Hey, look, Otter Man. I'm going to go ahead and take... Oh, I can't score any more points.
Yeah, I know.
But that would be amazing. I'm gonna take Brutal Tactics and Ambush. No, I'll take this Ambush.
Yeah.
Okay. So just my outcast. The foxes are outcast, but they are not hated. And then I don't have any acolytes, so I can't have any conspiracies. The whole wood is, they know the conspiracies. They're like, yeah, no, we know. You need the expansion to play the game solo. But the rules for the expansion are in the base game rulebook, but you won't have the board or the card tray.
Are the rules for the mechanical marquees are only in...
Oh, they're only in that?
They're only in
My bad.
the...
My bad.
The play thing. But... Maybe you could play with some of the better bots that are in BGG if those don't require the expansion. But to play the one that's included, you need the expansion.
I literally can't fight. All I can do is score more points. I can't do anything. Because I have no lizards to... I can build gardens. That's all I can do.
Because you have no acolytes?
I have no acolytes, and I have no... I can't move. And I have no,
Yeah, you can only move with your cobbler move at the start of the evening.
Yep.
Yep.
But I can't, I have to have acolytes to fight. So, they gotta come at me, bro. So, I'm going to reveal this animal. I have both cards that you need to craft those 2 items, which kind of sucks. But I'm gonna reveal this fox to put another fox garden down here. Because why not? And then I will go ahead and reveal nothing else, because nothing else matters. Oh, no, wait, daylight. I can remove one of my warriors to draw a card. I will remove this guy. Hey, look, I have a dude. I can put the dude someplace. I wish to put that person...
Oh, the recruit, yeah.
I will put them in a bunny clearing, and I will put them in this bunny clearing. And then... Did I draw a card?
I don't think you did. I think you just removed the warrior.
I think I just removed the warrior. I was so happy about removing the warrior. Okay. And then that's all I can do. So I will go ahead and not do anything else. Pick up my cards. I could craft stuff to get abilities.
Did you want to do your move?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So the beginning of my evening, I do my move. I want to move it. I'm going to move this guy here. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to go ahead and craft. I now have Command Warren, so I can initiate a battle at the start of daylight.
Nice.
It's going to be really helpful. I'm also going to put another armors into play.
Yeah, the factions that have like restrictive rules get really helped by the ability cards.
And then that's all I can do. Actually, how many bunny clearings are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I rule all the bunny clearings, but I can't have 2 of the same named cards, so never mind. So now I'm done. So now I draw 4 cards. Basically, Tiffany's won, so she's bored and trying to help Steve.
We're not dead yet.
Yeah, we don't win. And now I just discard a bunch of cards, which helps me figure out what is hated. And let's make foxes hate. Nah, bunnies. Bunnies. So we're gonna discard this bunny card, and this bunny card, and this bunny card.
Yeah, there will be scales and fur flying if a
and this bunny card,
bunny suit comes
and this bunny card. That's a mouse card, and this fox card.
Dang.
Yeah, the wizard, like, I like games where you engine and snowball, and when you get to a certain size, you're just, like, unstoppable, and the lizardmen are that.
Like, I kind of almost want your...
like, done.
Like, if your points wrapped, you would just
keep going. Yeah.
Yep. Alright, Mechanical Marquise. 2 per clearing. They have at least 3 warriors, and they rule it. They can't rule anything because of all the gardens, and they keep getting converted.
There's they could rule this 1 clearing, but I moved that guy there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Alright, first order card. Oh, one of us could have taken the mouse spy.
I didn't have any mouse.
It's a fox card. Alright, battle in fox clearings. Fox, anybody? Anybody?
Are there
fox
any
clearings?
Cats and fox?
All right,
no,
move
okay.
all but 3 warriors out from the fox clearings. Nope.
None of that.
And then since there's no recruit on that, we do the next order card.
Fox clearings?
Anybody?
Any battles? No. Okay. But then
right.
we get 1 in each mouse clearing.
Yep.
1 recruit.
Boop.
Boop, boop, boop,
Boop.
boop.
Boop. Boop. Alright, 2 cards.
I could make the foxes hated, which is pointless, but I could do it. Alright. Cards, you need to get points.
Yep.
How many points do you get?
So, start of bird song. I get a card.
I get a card, but you get...
I do.
Points.
Score dividends. I get 2 points.
Yay.
And then everybody goes to the fun box.
Are you having fun in the fun box?
Everybody goes to the fun box.
How many points would you get if that just persisted?
5 points.
So you just do that. Because you have no other way to get points unless you can craft. But the 2 cards that you craft, I know I've gotten. So it's the luck of the draw.
Yeah, I would just be crafting to do warriors, which is...
Is it fun just 1 card? Like, as a 1...
It's 1 for 1.
Okay. And you have 10 dudes. So I would just get...
If I crafted the mouse, I would be down to 4 points, and I would just get an additional warrior for next turn. But...
I would just get the 5 points.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna set service costs. You have no warriors, so there's no reason. Everything's on sale. I'm gonna set everything to 1.
Fire sale.
Alright. Tiffany turn. So it's just 2 more turns for me. But everything can still go wrong.
Jaime says that they would probably house rule that in co-op, once a player hits the top point of the score track, that player's points should push the next lowest player's score points. Which could work, but that's okay. So on my turn, I can't buy anything from him.
That could be a way to speed up the game if you're in a situation like this.
I get to, bunnies are still outcasts, so bunniers are outcasts. I have no acolytes, so it doesn't super matter. I was hoping that some stuff would get killed by the Marquise, but it didn't happen.
And again, this would have been harder if we started with the favor of
however, I can initiate a battle at the start of daylight. Ah, yes. Strike me down.
Our one of our first games we played against the Mechanical Marquise, we played double Vagabond against the Marquise, and it was...
I'm gonna go here, because I need to assert dominance there.
Yep. That was rough.
So I'm gonna fight. Fight! Sweet! They take out 0 of mine, and I take out 2 of theirs. Woo! I rule it! Which means, during my daily phase, I can reveal this 1 mouse card that I've been holding on to put another garden. I now rule every clearing in the forest.
One of us. Everyone is one of us.
Oh, you used the command word for that?
Yeah, I have
Nice.
to. It's the only way to battle. Okay, so now I am going to tax collect so I can get at least a single warrior. And I will tax collect protect this guy. And he'll come to me. And then I will actually I will reveal a bird card to make him an acolyte. And then... Yeah, still can't... Okay, and then I pull everything back. And then there's nothing I really want to craft.
Alright, you would just be scoring to change the outcast.
Yeah. But. Which, I could make the bunnies, but I'm gonna discard anyway. So, I'm gonna discard a bunny, and then I'm gonna discard, oh hey, look, it's the Favor of the Foxes.
And you got Favor of the Foxes and Favor of the Rabbits.
Yep. No, it's stand and deliver.
Oh.
I will go ahead and discard.
Oh, there was Favor of the Rabbits.
Oh, that is Favor of the Rabbits. Yep.
All right.
The cards we were worried about, I got anyway. We're just gonna make Foxes outcasts again.
Yes.
I have a lot of those. And then I'm done.
All right, it's the Marquise's turn.
Cat.
It's the Spy. All right, battle everywhere.
Well, hang on.
Oh, so
first they get points.
Yep. All right, battle everywhere.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Nope. We're just gonna do... Okay, so nope. Yes. Oh, snapsies. They take out all of us. But we get one of them. Yes, acolytes. Give me.
Well, interesting, though, it says defender is the player with the most pieces. So it won't take out my... I wonder if we messed up that rule.
It's never been encountered.
Okay. It would take out the garden.
No. Well, it's fine.
But how many warriors did they have?
They had 2 warriors.
Oh, okay. So they would...
Not take out my garden.
Okay.
Then this guy... They take out both mine. Oh, I love it when they take out my warriors.
But not the garden.
This is great for me.
Been lucky so far.
This one is not great. Yeah, 0-0. Okay, and then up top. Oh, they take out both. Yes, I love it when they take me both out. This is the best. I get to do stuff on my next turn.
Nope.
Yes. Yes. Oh, nope, just one.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one dude there.
No.
Oh, you're gonna get so many point cards. Just one and one. Yes, strike me down.
All right, and then they'll attack me this time.
2 and 2.
All right.
Obliterate each other.
I just haven't. So if I was losing trade posts, I would lose half my funds, which would be bad.
This one, they attack me.
Yeah, because most points.
And I roll it. Oh, we take each other out. Yep. Oh, look how many acolytes I get to do stuff with.
The lizard folk love this.
This is the best.
Was that everything? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay, everything. Then move all but 3 warriors. Oh, look who doesn't have any cats. Now recruit, because there's no crafting cost. Lost soul for you. We do the next order cards. It is a visit to friends.
It's Bunny!
Bunny battles. Oh.
Bunny battles.
You're defenseless, so they're going to deal an extra hit.
But I can... Oh, did I not put one back in? No, I did! In battle, I may discard this to ignore all rules.
Hold on, we do 2... Is it bunny battles?
It's
okay,
bunnies.
So it's this one.
They're attacking you!
Oh. Well, they did it.
They take out your trade post.
They take out my trade post, which goes to the box, and I lose half my funds, rounded up.
Oh, that hurt so bad. You lose 5.
6.
I thought you were at 10. You're at 10, honey.
Oh, half rounded up. Yeah.
It's a whole number.
Actually, I'm gonna, since I get to choose, I'm gonna remove the 2 otters. Because you roll everything.
I do roll everything.
Oof.
Great. Okay, next bunnies. Bunnies over here.
Yeah, half your funds.
They take out my garden. But they strike me down. But it doesn't really matter if they take out my gardens. But they do gain a point for taking out your trading post and my garden.
Yeah, because it was a token in building.
And then undefended.
So they deal an extra hit.
So they'll do 1 hit, but we'll roll. And I'm gonna discard the armors so that they don't do any additional. But they still do take out 1 garden because it only ignores rolled damage. So they still get a point for that.
Oh, rolled hits. That's smart.
Yep.
All
so
right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
That's it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then bunnies spawn.
Yep.
Bunnies spawn.
One in each bunny clearing. The mechanical marquise is making a comeback.
They are. We can't go lightly.
And then one thing also is if you're low on mechanical marquise meeples, you should place them in clearing priority order. Because when they're doing well, you run out of meeples. Alright. 2 more cards for the marquise.
I need a bunny card and discard.
Alright, my turn.
Let's make bunnies hate
I
it.
draw a card and another
Make
player.
bunnies hate it. Make bunnies hate it. Make bunnies hate it. Make bunnies hate it. Score a bunch
So
of
my
points and
payments
make
box
bunnies-
is empty because you didn't pay me. So 2 warriors go in it. If any trade posts are in the map, 1 per 2 funds. Is it rounded up or down? I think it's probably up. This is 1 per 2, so I would imagine I get 3 points. No, I'll do 2 points, yeah. Alright.
It's per 2. You don't have it.
Yeah, I do, right. No, you're right. Okay. So I have 7 funds.
Did she take both? No,
No.
you
She's just coming over for. Alright. So I'll get 3 points next turn. There's a boot, so I should craft that.
You should. You should also try and get a bunny card. Because if I can hate bunnies, I can strike them down again. Because otherwise they have 3. So they rule this guy. Which is points for them.
Alright, well then I'm gonna draw a card. It's a bunny card.
Yes! You can't craft it, but you can do that thing where you craft but don't craft. You know what I'm saying?
So I could...
You're so cute.
Oh, is it just a mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, it's just a mouse. So, discard that, and then I get a warrior in my payments box. Alright, so I'm just gonna get 2 points this turn.
Make the bunnies hated. Yes. Yes.
I think, yeah, I just want my 2 points.
Okay. That's fine. Just let your wife keep doing the work. It's fine.
Are you gonna buy my cards?
No.
You gonna buy 1?
I will buy 1 to give you something. Yes.
Alright, I set my service costs. Your turn.
Great. I will buy that 1. I'll take brutal tactics.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I will go ahead and adjust the outcast.
So many cards.
Bunnies are hated. The bunnies are hated, and I got a great deal.
Can you take a picture?
I took a picture.
Okay.
Yep. They're like just stacked upon. It's the best. All right. So now I get to do some shenanigans and bunny clearings, which makes me happy. So you become a lizard warrior, and you become a lizard warrior, and you become a lizard warrior.
Oh my god.
And then I can also do the same thing here. You become a lizard warrior, and you become a lizard warrior, and you become a lizard
can you do
warrior.
this one too?
Yeah, I can actually. Yep.
Oh, because they're hated. Is it only 1 per?
Yep.
This
You
is
can become. You
terrible.
can become. Ha 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 ha.
Just all the cats pour into the map, and
then they just pour out. They just turn into lizards. It's really.
and then more cats show up, and then take
They
out
turn into
those
lizards.
converted lizards.
The
and then
thing.
It's like circle of life. going
Also,
on.
I'll go ahead and spend 1 acolyte to have a battle here. I'll actually, just like move in. Sure. And then I'll initiate a battle. So they're dead. Woohoo! And then I can't go there. Oh no, it's a bunny clearing. You become a lizard. Don't even have to fight. Don't even have to fight him, bro. Oh, and then I can spend this other one to move from an outcast clearing
Oh my god.
to another, and I
And
battle
battle.
there. The Marquise Cat has been vanquished, which I think, honestly, should be a victory condition if they are vanquished. But they're not.
Wow.
But I did it.
And you're still in the conspiracies phase.
I'm still in conspiracies.
And
Let
then-
me tell you where those bunnies come from, my friends. Or those kitties.
So then now you can initiate a battle.
Yep, which there's nothing to battle. So, now I will do my delay phase. So my Garen's gonna come back, yo. So I will go ahead and put... So I'll go ahead and put mouse clearing to put one back here. And then I will do the... Oh, yeah, bunny clearing. Oh, I don't have a bunny card. Sadness. But I will spend these 3
Patrick
to get
says,
more
"I'll allow it."
allocated. Okay, Patrick says if we vanquish the Marquise, the mechanical Marquise,
But
we
I've
win.
still got 7 more points to go.
And it's gonna take like 2 turns, there's no reason to do it. Because the lizards are like dominating. If they come at us, I can just kill them more. Actually, instead of putting all 3 of them there, I'll put, so many of these. I'll put 1 in this fox clearing and 1 in this mouse clearing. And then I pick up all these cards. And then I do some other stuff. But I think we're just gonna call it. Because
the lizards
are
just completely destroying.
I think, so what I've seen is basically by the time somebody gets to 30 points, they're kind of unstoppable anyway. So the fact that, like, I hit 30 points, like, we would have to be really unlucky to make it where it became kind of nail-bitey. Because if the Marquise takes me out, I just come back.
And just convert them all.
Yeah,
and
so
you rule the whole map.
I do literally
and
rule the entire map.
It's just, in this situation, it's been hard for me to get points.
Yeah, so let's talk about Root Baby. Okay, so technically, per the rules in the books, we did not win, but considering it's kind of like obvious that we're going to, plus the like publisher of the game said it counts, we're gonna say that we won because the Marquise de Cat has been obliterated. The only other timer is basically we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 more turns for Steve to get
7 points.
7 points.
So next turn, at the start of my next turn, I would get 2, unless they took out another of my trade posts.
Yeah.
And then assuming I did nothing, I would get 5 more at the start of my next turn.
Yeah.
So it would be 2 turns, assuming they didn't take
and they
any
could
of my
keep
trade posts out.
pushing it, and we could draw it out, but it's kind of just. I don't think it's a great experience. So I think it just makes sense that if you obliterate the Marquise de Cat from the map, you're fine.
In cooperative mode.
In cooperative mode, yes. So there's that.
Well, it might be more challenging with the other factions, because...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. No, I'm saying, well, so, and there's different, yeah. So
I mean, like, even if you obliterated them with the other factions, they could still, favor the fox and pop all back up.
What I have noticed in every game that I've played of this is once somebody gets to kind of, like, this point range, on their next turn, it's very likely that they can do the big jump. So, like, it becomes where, like, you start down here gaining, like, 1, maybe 2 points a turn, and then as you get further down the track, you're doing, like, 6, 7 points in a turn. And so I feel like that's kind of consistent with all the factions that I've seen. And you can definitely throw monkey wrenches in to stop people from doing that, for sure. But the mechanical Marquise can't do that, because the mechanical Marquise is not a smart player. It's not a person, it's just random chance. So they could luck out and throw a monkey wrench in the now unstoppable engine that is Lizardfolk. But Lizardfolk is definitely very stoppable. I was stopped the last time I played. But the Marquise de Cat, the mechanical Marquise at this point, he would have to be very, very lucky to stop me. Because I've set up such that if he did try to stop me, I gain power from him doing that, as we just saw.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And I think I don't know, you said it didn't happen, so maybe it didn't, but it's possible early in the game. Did we have a situation where they would have taken out your warriors and my warriors, but should have taken out buildings also? It's possible.
No, they did not.
Okay, it didn't happen.
No, it did not happen.
But so I ran interference with you early on, which definitely helped, because you couldn't really defend those gardens. Yes. And they were attacking my otters long enough for you to get, like, a good foothold.
Yes. But then once I had a good foothold, you were able to use my funds to establish your trade posts. But the thing with the Riverfolk is you can get max AT points just from trade posts. And one of the things you have to focus on is getting points in other ways. And the best way is either have excess funds or craft items. And for the most part, I was buying cards just based on the suit. And what we should have been doing is, once we kind of were like mid-game, we should have been trying to focus on you crafting.
Yeah. Because you didn't, seeing what happens now with the gardens, you didn't need those extra points from crafting as much. Like, I could have used those points more.
Yeah. So there's that. But the Riverfolk company, you've played it 3 times?
I think, yeah, once with you, once at game night, and this is now my 3rd time.
Yeah. So I feel like the more I've seen they're very dependent on people purchasing their wares. And so they make a lot of sense in the cooperative mode. But when you're playing with a lot of players, they work competitively too, because you're going to have like a kingmaker situation. Mm-hmm. And they're not the only faction that has that. The Vagabond can buy items that are crafted from players and give them cards, which helps them, but it also gives the Vagabond more abilities and it gives the Vagabond points. But you can purposely buy items knowing that the Vagabond will give you cards, which is one of the ways that when we were playing with the Vagabond and I was the Lizardman, I kept buying items because I kept crafting items because it got me points, and the Vagabond would give me cards, which artificially inflated my hand limit so I could do more actions on my turn. The problem is that the Vagabond was kind of doing that to everybody, and nobody was attacking them.
None of us attacked the Vagabond
at all in the entire game, because I can't attack. And the person playing the Marquise de Cat didn't know the rules very well for the Marquise de Cat and had been playing it wrong every game they played. And they were like, this is stupid. And then we were like, wait, why are you only doing 2 actions? And why are you only doing this? And she's like, wait, what? So that game was kind of nerfed because the primary player that would be attacking just wasn't. But that's a whole nother
and as Riverfolk, I wasn't really attacking the Vagabond because I didn't have a lot of attack power.
Yeah. Well, in the Riverfolk also, I feel, not always an attack thing. It's interesting. So every faction plays very differently. There's certain factions that are definitely battle heavy. Like the normal Marquise de Cat is definitely battle heavy. The lizards are not battle heavy. I'm literally like, I'm not even rolling a dice. There's no chance to this. I'm just converting you to me. And I love that because I hate random chance affecting my plan and strategy. So
and
this is like perfect.
Every lizard that gets killed is a lizard that can be spent in a conspiracy to convert one of you back.
So not only, I don't like direct conflict, so I don't like to be in battles. So because it's dice rolls and I just don't really like that stuff. But now with the lizard folk, I'm like, yeah, cool, fight me, bro.
Yeah, and this is how you like to play this kind of, like, any sort of, like, map control game where you're, like, building up forces and spreading. You'd like to, 1, have an engine, and 2, spread across the map and be unstoppable. And in this case, you don't even have to do battles. You're like, no, you battle me.
Yeah, come at me, bro. I don't even have to start fights.
Because, if you're the one that attacks, you don't get acolytes. But if you get attacked,
So, that's the lizard folk. We're not going to talk about the other factions because I'm too tired, and they've already been covered extensively by other channels and stuff. But I will say, this being our 6th game of Root, I still enjoy it. The 2-player without the mechanical marquees is
it's very dependent on the factions you pick for that game.
And there's certain factions that just won't work at all against each other. And if you don't have like a 3rd buffer player. And it's also, there's more random chance in the 2-player because like the board is so spread out that I feel in 2-player, if you don't have the mechanical marquees, there's a lot more, oh, I happen to draw the card I need, or oh, the dice happen to be favorable. But otherwise, you have a lot of room to like set up and do stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's that. I
think, and the game does have recommended 2-player setups.
So on the back of each of the learn to play books and the things, you don't need to get it out, honey. they have scenarios where they say like the number of players, and then they show icons for like which factions they recommend. And so the in any of these mixes, it shows when you see the Marquise de Cat, you can swap in the mechanical Marquise. So they recommend that you always play, if you're playing these two factions, they always recommend that you're playing with a third player, which would make sense because the lizard folk definitely need somebody to convert, which the otters don't do enough. And if I was playing directly against Steve, there was no way I would buy cards from him. There'd be no reason for me to. So there's that. And then this is the back of the original base game. Oh no, it's not on the back. It's
next
in
to
the
last page.
So
but it just recommends playing with either the Marquise or the Irie, and then just one
different
of the other
combos.
Different combos.
So if you want to get the base game to play 2-player, the base game, we did play the base game 2-player, and it was fine. Just play the recommended first 2-player scenario, which is the Marquise de Cat and the Irie. And they also recommend if you're playing 2-player in that format where there's just 2 factions, you play, I forget the type of tournament mode this is, but you swap characters. So you both play both character types, and whoever won the most wins. And if you tie...
you go by points.
You go by points. So, that's the normal base 2-player, and if you're playing 2-player with just those factions, the games do go much faster. We played a base 2-player game in 30 minutes. So
especially if you know how to play, you could play,
And also, if we weren't talking through our turns to chat and hanging out with chat and also doing talk stuff, like this game would have probably taken 45 minutes. It would not have been that long.
One nice thing about the mechanical Marquise, there are, more complicated and more interesting bots on BGG. And it sounds like there's going to be more.
There's a great community base for this game.
But the mechanical Marquise is very simple for you to run, which I think makes it well suited for both co-op and competitive games because you're not like massively increasing the game length. Like it's basically draw a card and do a thing.
So the other thing is that on the back of the board, it's winter. And so in the winter, there's no set clearings are owned by certain people. And so instead, there are tokens in the base game that you use, and you can randomly determine what type each clearing is. So there's 4, you always have 4 of each type of animal clearing, but the river is also different, and the paths are different. So it's a whole different game in regards to what clearings are next to which clearings and how you do
divides
paths.
the forest, so the vagabonds can't.
Yeah, because the vagabond, which we haven't talked about and we're not going to go into very much, can move through these forest spaces. So the vagabond doesn't care as much about the paths. So the clearing mixes up the game a lot for when you get really comfortable with the other side, the forest side. It's also just still really pretty.
I think, let's see, what's another thing? The movement rules for most of the factions, there's where you have to rule the clearing that's to or from, but with an out-of-control lizard folk where you rule the entire map.
Well, I also don't move that way.
Oh, and you also don't. Normally it's it was only just because of the command we're in.
Yeah, no, it doesn't super matter. So this is the thing, is that every faction has things that, like, it just literally doesn't care about the rules. So it's kind of one of the, like, if you're learning this game for the first time, I recommend that you use the Learn to Play tutorial games that they have in the base game. And then read the Learn to Play faction books for each faction, and then go from there. Know that if you're playing with 4 players and they're all brand new players, that first game is going to kind of suck and take a while. But the Learn to Play tutorial game is very good, and it sets every player up with a bunch of options. So like they'll have like 3, maybe 4 paths that they can do, and there's not necessarily one that's better than the other.
Yeah.
So
and again, the base game factions are simpler to learn than these expansion factions. Like,
I bumped the camera again.
I'd say even if you were getting the base game and the expansion, don't start with the expansion races. Do start with the ones from the base, because the strategies for these will make a lot more sense once you've played. Yeah, with the base game factions.
We were talking with somebody at a game night last week, and they were saying that they love Root, and they played a 6-player game, but half of the people had never played before, and that was like the worst game because it took a very long time, and they had to keep explaining like full things and how people worked, and like if you're running that kind of game, that's a lot of head space for you, which if you're familiar with leader games is vast, can also be a problem with vast. So this is definitely one where you want to make sure that everybody that's coming to the table, if you have a majority of players that have never played before, just know that the game is going to take a little while longer. Make sure they're committed to like the cute, adorable art, which will help get them to play. But also just, maybe set a lower point goal for your first game or something like that.
Another thing also is pretty much anytime I had a question, especially about the base rules or how the races work, they're basically all in the rulebook, and the rulebook does include the rules for the expansion faction and has like little icons when a faction breaks like a core game rule. So I would almost recommend, if you want to teach to other people, I said it before, but if you play like the 4-player learning game by yourself, and then you look up in the rules where all of those, what happens here? Like, just play enough rounds until you know the answers to those questions, and then that will definitely make it easier when you're teaching someone.
Be a good teacher. Don't bring this game to game night and be like, oh, I watched that one playthrough once, so it would be good. Like, you want to make sure that you've at least read the law of Root so that you know where to look up things in the index. If you want to go full Steve mode and play a solo game, you can. I don't do that. We're very different in how we learn and teach games. So do what makes sense for you and how you learn games. This is a war game hidden as a cute, adorable animal game. Like, this is straight up a war game system. And it's a cute, adorable one that tricks people into playing these kind of mechanics.
And it's asymmetrical.
And it does a very good job at it. It works. I think that the support has been fantastic, both from the community and from Leader Games. There's a lot of discussions on BGG. The designer is very active still. They are being very prolific in like correcting rules and rebalance issues. They playtested it a ton before it came out. So the tweaks that needed to be made, they're kind of like, okay, yeah, that's obvious. Yeah. But it's one of those scales where, when they were playtesting, they played maybe 100, 200, 300 times. And then when it releases, it's getting played like thousands of times. So these kind of kinks come out, especially in a game that is so involved. And the really interesting thing is this sort of game in the war game system, these games are like notorious for having awful rulebooks and awful support and awful FAQs, and Leader Games made this sort of game very accessible. So it's one of those where I highly doubt, I would never be like, hey, let's play a coin game, which is the mechanic that this is. Let's play a coin game set in some war. Like, I'm never going to do that. But I now understand the system. So if Steve wanted to teach me one of those games, I'm going into it at kind of an advantage.
And also, for those familiar with rules that do this, I know I kind of call this like GMT style. All the rules have like numerical descending designations, like 11.6 evening, 11.6.1 discard cards. This is a great reference, and it references the exact rule by number, and so it's really easy for rules to find other rules because there are giant walls of text. And then the learning to play guides are sort of the more narrative thing. So I know some games do the two rulebook thing. One teaches you how to play, and then one is the reference. And it just works really well for this.
Yep. So that's true.
I was going to mention something else. Oh, the other thing was Leader Games and the designer designed the expansion races along with the base game races. So one of the things that on the theme of expansion, we didn't have a situation where like, oh, these expansion races just don't work with or are completely imbalanced compared to the base game races. So that was a pleasant surprise that like everything was played together. It wasn't like the expansion races were like monkey patched in later.
And it's one of the reasons why we're streaming this for Expantuary, considering it's still a relatively new release. Because so for 2-player, if you're mostly playing 2-player and you like a co-op experience, I don't like co-op, but I liked playing the Mechanical Marquise. I think next time, I would like to play a different faction. I want to try the Irie. I've played them once, and they like do this weird programming thing, and it's so easy to screw yourself over, and I like that. You're basically just trying to run your own program, and you don't super care you do care what other people are doing, but like it's you're your biggest enemy when you're playing the Irie, and I like that. So there's other factions I'm interested in playing as somebody that's not a direct competitive, and the fact that we can play co-op makes that even more appealing to me, because I'm not a super, hey, I want to battle you and like take out your stuff and do this. It gets sour. I don't like it. But if we're playing a condiment enemy, I'm cool with it. So if you are not a very big direct competitive person, or you like really co-op games, or you like solo games, the expansion could be an alternative. Also, if you've now seen these expansion factions and you want to try them, give that a shot, because those be a lizard cultist. Just join us.
Yeah.
Join
also,
us.
the Mechanical Marquis working as a bot player, turning a 2-player game into a 3-player game, can soften that kind of like, I don't want to play a 2-player direct competitive game, but if there's a bot, we can alternately fight each other or the bot. It can soften that kind of like very direct zero-sum nature.
Nutters,
So
I
that was
accidentally had espresso today. So Nutters wants to know how I'm awake, and the caffeine is definitely worn off.
Yeah, this stream of Root is sponsored by Heart Coffee and Leader Game.
Yeah.
Or facilitated by Heart Coffee.
I love macchiatos, and so normally I go and I order decaf macchiatos because I haven't had caffeine in 7 months. But today I forgot, and I just ordered a macchiato because I was like trying to get on a call. I was late for a call, and so I was just like macchiato, and I didn't order decaf, and I didn't realize until like 20 minutes later that I was so caffeinated. It was crazy. I'm still definitely a little caffeinated, but it's definitely, the exhaustion is hitting me. So, on that delightful note, because I now work East Coast time, so I started at 4:45 this morning. On that delightful note, thank you.
I was gonna say, for those in chat that care, I ran a 4-player game of Zaya as a learning game, as like a GM, basically. And then I played my first 5-player game of Zaya, and it was awesome.
His friends really liked it.
Zaya with the expansions.
Yeah, and we're talking about getting rid of Eclipse, because Zaya kind of replaces, it solves our like giant space game itch. So yeah. That's the thing that's happening. But anyway. Thank you again, Leader Games, for sponsoring the stream by sending us the copy of Root and the expansion, the Riverfolk expansion. If you would like to acquire your own copy of Root, go ahead and check the doobly-doo down below for a link to Leader Games. The game, as of this stream, is still in stock, and they have already started printing the 3rd print run of it, which will be the 2nd edition that has the FAQ that we talked about and the errata added. So if you want to wait for that, you can. But yeah, so, thank you, Patrick!
Yeah, thank you, Patrick.
We've played that, like I said, we've played this at least once every week. Some weeks twice. So, it's very good. As for things, we will be probably streaming next week. Expantuary will be technically over next week, but we don't care. So we'll be streaming something next week. I honestly don't know what we're going to stream. We just keep playing Root, so we need to start playing another game with our time. But we do have a game. We haven't played a lot of games because I've been traveling a lot for work, and I've been working a lot and just really tired. And Steve's been traveling, and then I'm going to be traveling again. So we'll see. But next week we would like to stream for sure. We're just not 100% what we'll be streaming. So stay tuned for that. Watch on Twitter. Patrons, etc. I also, if you're a Patreon supporter, thank you very much. I went ahead and paused the Patreon for the month of February, so there will be no charge for the beginning of March. And I have to, I couldn't make it through. We'd have to get me caffeine again.
Yeah.
So, things and stuff, Patreon supporters, I've posted there because of my job. I can't, Patreon's stupid and I have to do an update. But things, I'm still making videos. Like, I will be doing my February games we got rid of thing, because I got rid of 17 games today. But we pulled 26 games out of, no, we pulled more than that. We pulled over 30 games out of the collection. I pulled over 30 games out of the collection this weekend. We have another, like, 10 games that we pulled out of the collection that need to be evaluated. So we pulled, like, 40 games in the last month out of the collection, and I want to make a video about that. I don't know if we'll talk about all 40 in one video. I might divide it between a March and a February, but yes, those videos will still be coming. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching live, thank you so much for hanging out with us and becoming lizard folk. Yes. I don't know what Nutter said. Nutter said, wait, what was that?
Maybe in reference to all the games.
Yeah, so for the first half of 2019, Steve and I we put a hold on acquiring any new entertainment things. We had a couple asterisk rules, which was, because both of our birthdays are in the first half of 2019, if somebody gives us something, we will be polite people and say thank you very much and take that thing. Also, because we do sponsored content and streams, and I didn't know I was going to get a job with Hava Games, if I had a hunch that I was getting that job, but it was still in the air. But if we acquire games for sponsorship for streams, that doesn't count against, it's not a thing. It's just we can't purchase or ourselves seek out new stuff, with the exception of it if it makes sense for the stream, which is how we got Root, because it made sense for Expansionary. And I really wanted to talk about it 2-player. So there's that. But as part of the no acquiring, we also, as a goal, are trying to clear out our limbo shelves. And in doing so, we've also cleared out not our limbo shelves. So I cleared out our small game shelves. Mm-hmm. So the 30 games that I pulled this weekend are all from our small game shelves on the sides and up here, which you can't super see. So, oh, that was a Leaving Earth expansion. Yes, I was wondering yes, we have Stations Leaving Earth. And we really want to do a Leaving Earth stream because we love Leaving Earth, but it would be such a long stream.
It would have to be a weekend stream, basically.
Or we could start it when I stop work.
Yeah.
Which would be
I can take it
2:30. I
can either start work really early or take a half day.
Yeah, just work the same times I work. And then we'll just play Stations after a full day of work. It'd be great. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We missed you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thanks for hanging out in chat. Thank you for liking this video. If you like this, make sure you subscribe if you want to make sure you get notified when we go live. Hit the bell, or when we post videos. I post videos. Otherwise, I'm super tired. I'm definitely rambling. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Leaving Earth Stations has space shuttles.
Yeah, it's Steve's birthday weekend. Birthday boy. This is birthday week. Today's his birthday. Did you like this as a game to play for your birthday?
Yes, I did.
You got to play co-op with your wife. A game you like. We don't play co-op a lot.
Pinch me and I'll wake up.
And it's a war game. So he got to play a co-op war game with his wife for his birthday.
That's like a
liked it.
That's like a pick 2. Co-op war game with wife. You cannot do all 3. Pick 2. So it's, yeah.
Yeah. So triple thank you, Leader Games, for getting Steve a very good birthday present. All right.
A great stream.
All right. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
We have 12 minutes to go get your birthday ice cream.